This episode brought to you by Gamblers Anonymous, which I'm a member of. And I'd like to give a big shout out to my son, Todd Jr., who is now owned by the Yakuza. Listen, Todd Jr., I thought that was a must-win hand. Double fives? Like, who could lose that? Oh, your mother's going to be really upset with me, Todd Jr., but she wasn't really that close to you anyways because you are kind of ugly. Just like your old man. I'm crying because I'm ugly, not because I gambled my child away.
My biggest problem is just that it's supposed to be anonymous. Hey, everybody, we're watching Casino Royale, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I am Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a story for you to start this one off. I can already tell that Todd is dreading this.
Yeah. In the zone.
And
start the movie and then tell the story, for fuck's sakes.
It is a long one, so let's just get right into it and not risk anything. All right, let's press play. Okay, so let's explain ourselves a little bit. I was going to say let me explain myself. This wasn't my fault, but it happened.
We pressed play before, by the way, people. So whatever.
I said press play.
Oh, okay, good.
You see, again, wasting time. We gotta go. We're gotta be efficient. So, anyways, what happened was this is a very long movie, and it was the second recording that we did of the night. So it was about 1:00 in the morning, and the power went out.
Just for the briefest of moments.
Like not even 1 second it went out. Now, here's the problem. The second that happens, when you do not end a recording digitally, the whole thing gets screwed. So our video recording, if you're watching on YouTube,
Michael Ironside, okay,
and our audio, hey Michael Ironside, you don't distract me. Our audio recording also screwed. So we just kind of sat here in silence for a little bit, and then just kind of had to accept the fact that we sat here in silence for a while,
and then Joe started slamming his head mercilessly into the table.
Oh, you have no idea. Well, what was even worse was
I said it was going to happen too. Before we started, I was like, you watch, because it was a big storm. I was like, you watch that the power goes out. And I feel like I had something to do with that.
Yeah, you
It was like 20 minutes to the end.
But we have a battery backup now, so I'm looking forward to watching that fail the first time it comes out.
Yeah.
But, so we'll start right here. The movie's starting in black and white. It's a much different scene than any of the other Bond openings. This is supposed to be his, or for better or worse, his origin story.
Yeah.
So that's pretty badass. And I like this kind of standoff.
And the first time we see the new James Bond.
They did, so Martin Campbell directed the movie. He directed Goldeneye. The reason they actually brought him in was they liked what they did with Pierce Brosnan as far as his like his debut.
Right, what he did with the debuting James Bond.
And it's no coincidence that these are my two favorite Bond movies. And
yes.
I've said time and time again, like it switches depending on my mood. I feel like Goldeneye is my favorite right now, just because I was so soured after the last
experience.
One. But
I think Casino Royale is a favorite of a lot of people. I just read a bunch of shit with Cary Fukunaga.
Yeah.
Fugu whatever.
No, you actually said it sort of right.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. And he said that this was his favorite and Your Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah.
This is just getting you right now into the idea that this is a much grittier James Bond right off the bat.
Hot take. I hate on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I know, that's why I thought it was weird that I thought, GoldenEye's got to be the next one. I mean, come on, right? Like,
it's a lot of people's favorite, and I'm like, really, George Lazenby is your thing?
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story behind George Lazenby getting the Bond role?
No.
Because Ian Fleming and Cubby Broccoli are like really, really like macho dudes, blah, blah, blah. And George Lazenby is a model. So they're like, oh, well, he's definitely gay and we don't want a gay James Bond. Like, even though he wouldn't be playing gay.
Right.
We don't want a gay
People
man
would know
to
that
be
he's a gay guy playing James Bond.
And so they tested him by sending a bunch of women up to his room one day. And
Is real?
Yeah, and George Lazenby told the story, and he's like, yeah, so I passed that test. He's like, he just banged a bunch of girls, and he's like, that was it.
Well, sweet. Why don't they test me about like that more often?
I try to all the time, just the other way. So this is your
Boom.
first. I loved the way they did that because you didn't get that at the beginning, which was a bummer because you like that. Like, I remember when that didn't happen at the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, like.
And a Chris Cornell tune.
Chris
Rest
Cornell.
in peace, baby.
For my money, no better vocalist in rock.
Oh, he's the best. He's a man.
Still. Like, he can come back from the dead and his pipes would still be back.
And remember last time you said too in your notes there that this is like the only James Bond song too where he doesn't say the name.
That's correct.
Because
actually,
he was
yes.
like, how the hell am I going to play Casino Royale?
Yeah, he had no way of working those lyrics in any kind of like natural way.
Yeah,
which
it would
makes
just be like
total
so weird.
sense.
Suddenly you're just like, Casino! You could do it.
You have to be
Casino!
loyal. Yeah. Oh,
He doesn't
yeah.
really give it.
He does at the end
This
when he
is
goes, you know
his-
my name.
Oh, yeah, you're
But,
right.
like,
Yeah.
I loved this opening sequence. It's also one of the only ones that doesn't feature all the naked chicks. And that's because that was a purposeful decision, and it's because he hasn't established himself as like that ladies' man. He is like what we've seen so far, and this is
And there's no
the
half naked
best.
chicks.
That's what I just said.
Sorry, I was listening to Chris Cornell.
No, I don't blame you at all, actually. I really I like the idea of everybody breaking up into the suits. and stuff
I
like that.
dig that Cornell got to be in one of the better Bond movies as their theme song.
Mm-hmm.
I still say that GoldenEye is a better theme song. I love GoldenEye.
There are better.
This is being my number 2.
We discussed this. I'm gonna stop mentioning what we discussed last time because
Exactly.
it's pointless. But what we were talking about though was the difference between a Bond theme and just a song. This is a better song than GoldenEye, but it's not a better Bond theme than
Right.
GoldenEye.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like there's a very few Bond themes that are good songs, but they're great Bond themes. Live and Let Die is probably the one that I would say.
I forgot about that one.
That one, no, I would like that one's weird though because it's 11.
It goes into
different songs.
Caribbean. It goes into.
It reminds me of like I remember when Saint Anger came out, Metallica, and it's the same thing. It's like I'm gonna be 30 different songs and you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it because we're famous, you're not.
Oh, Saint Anger was trash.
But you know what I mean? Like it was like it was like super hard, then soft, and then like this different kind of thing. Then this it was like 5 different metal songs and a ballad.
I don't think you've ever heard Saint Anger.
You know, no, I've heard. I was in it. I starred in Saint Anger.
He played the anger.
But yes, not the Saints. That was never
No.
up for. That was never up for discussion. This is one of the few too, because like we've discussed Ian Fleming writing novels, but very few of the Bond movies. That's actually what I'm getting at next. But there's very few of the Bond movies are based directly off of a novel. This is the only one that they have made this movie before. But they made like a comedic version. It was a Woody Allen movie where David Niven played James Bond and Woody Allen played Jimmy Bond. Orson Welles played Le Chiffre. It's a whole thing.
I was so very happy when this scene happened because watching this movie for the first time, I was like, that can't be the opening sequence. I was like, but that was cheap as shit. I was like, what the fuck?
I 100% agree with you. Like, I loved the scene. Don't get me
it was a
wrong,
good scene.
But it wasn't. But I had the same feeling of,
Yeah.
we didn't get the set piece. Like
When you
know,
get the
like-
big old, you gotta have a big old action scene right at the beginning.
Yeah, no, they made every decision properly for what was needed for this movie, because you also need to set a tone of that these ones are going to be markedly different than the like last few that you've seen, right?
In that interview, man, there was a lot of stuff in that Carrie interview there about how they hired him. And it's funny because they actually really look for people who are worldly.
Yeah.
They look for people that have seen the world. They look at what they've directed and what they've done, and they really put a lot of consideration into everything. Like these,
Yeah.
this is all the Broccoli's do is these James Bonds, I think, right?
And I think that this is a
Oh, there he is.
this is a prime example of finding like these international kind of people.
Yeah.
Like Mads Mikkelsen, like didn't even know who this dude was before this movie. Now he is in fucking everything, and he smokes. He's been in the MCU, the Star Wars universe. He's about to be in the Harry Potter universe.
Yep.
Like just,
He really rocked it, eh?
oh my god.
Is this his first real major American, like, this is this guy?
I believe so.
Because then after this, then he got Hannibal, which was big.
He was in King Arthur and Clash of the Titans, both of which I think came out before
Right.
this. And he was in the Three Musketeers. Oh, Three Musketeers did too.
Yeah.
Well, depending on which one you think about, I guess, but the one in question. He also was Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal, the TV show, in which he was brilliant. He was in Doctor Strange, in which he was brilliant. He was in Rogue One. He was not in that enough, but I just keep getting bummed that he keeps
was
getting
great in
killed.
Rogue One.
He was great, but he just wasn't in it enough.
Right.
Like, he's upcoming in Fantastic Beasts 3, which as of this recording, they've announced the title of it, which is The Secrets of Dumbledore.
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
So he's in that, replacing
gay.
Johnny. Yes. Well, that's part of it.
That's the only secret, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, so?
Well, that's not even a secret.
The
That's
end.
That's not even a secret. That's flat out what J.K. Rowling said.
Well, exactly.
Like, in like book 4, they're like, "What's this relationship he's got with with Grindelwald?" He's like, "Oh yeah, no, they were in love. Oh,
They were lovers.
They're gay. They touched wands a lot."
Ooh, I like that.
Well, she had to be good because she's still writing. Like she was writing children's books, right? So the
They're not children anymore, not at that point.
no. Well, that's the thing I liked about those books, though, is they grew up with you. Is like
Ooh.
you read your first one at that age, and then you read your last one, and you were an adult, pretty much.
It's tricky, right?
Yeah, it's not tricky. Just repeating, and that's not Sebastian Stan.
What are we supposed to do? New material? Jesus Christ! Fuck that.
This is an exercise in our
It's
brains.
just like, wow.
Even though I'm reading off my old notes, but so the movie was written by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade. They wrote The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day. They also wrote Johnny English. They're all about the gentleman spy.
Oh yeah, this guy.
And then, as we saw in the credit, which Todd pointed out, and I said I was getting that next. Oh, that happens a lot. Like that, he deserved to get
Oh
just
my
killed.
Lord, yes.
Like he should have just been
He's
shot right
still
there.
holding his ear.
Yeah. What? Don't hold my ear.
He's
Why
like a guy
should I
that gets
hold my
caught to it, so you're like, ugh, you just
Yeah.
freeze.
ear? Yeah. And then he makes eye contact with the guy and goes, going like.
Excuse me, I can't hear you in my earpiece. This loud thing.
Yeah.
You want me to start this guy with the scarred face? You want? Oh, you do. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. So the other writer was he only did certain pieces of the thing. He did like rewrites and that, but it was Paul Haggis, who we know he directed Crash and he's written all these great things. But I only like to mention the things that were really weird that he wrote because he has a really long career. He was a writer on Heathcliff, the old cartoon. Hashtag not Garfield.
Wow.
He wrote the Richie Rich and Scooby-Doo show. He wrote on Different Strokes, Facts of Life. He was the creator of the Canadian show Due South.
No way.
With and he also was a creator on Walker, Texas Ranger. So it's his fault that Haley Joel Osment said, Walker told me I have AIDS. And what else? And then he wrote $1 Million Baby, Flags of Our Fathers, Letters to Iwo Jima. Like, he's got a career, folks.
Yes. He's won Oscars.
He's doing just fine. But I just want to focus on this scene a bit more. This was at like the beginning of the craze of parkour.
Yes, I was just gonna say this is like the height of parkour awesomeness.
And this guy, his name escapes me, and I had a chance to re-look up what his name was. Still didn't do it. Fuck you.
See, Bond can get down with the parkour.
Yeah.
It's just called being James Bond. He doesn't even call it doing parkour.
Yeah. He's just running with style. But
I'm like, wouldn't you just get out of the guy's way? Why would I care? I just work there. I've got the
Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy's dead.
No, because everybody's probably going to say the foreman's going to have my head if this guy falls.
But it's okay if that guy just fell. Like, look, like nobody's wearing safety equipment. I'm like, my God, what are the safety standards of this place?
Well, it's a country of which I can't pronounce. So
Nice.
maybe not much.
I wonder if they'll give Martin Campbell another one. Like, he'll be the next. So, because now Daniel Craig's ending.
Yeah.
And he's actually gone on record as saying he doesn't want it to be a female because he's a misogynistic piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's the only reason for that. Anyways, could they have Martin Campbell do it again? The third
I would like to see that. You know what I saw? I got to see if I can look it up for you after. I actually watched the...
it's good that he knows how that works.
Yeah, it was like, you remember the old thing that they used to do for commercials where they'd like be out front of the theater and they'd ask people what they thought of the movie and stuff like that. The last person, this was for GoldenEye, the last person to speak who was just asked what he thought about the movie, Idris Elba.
No way.
He was like, this is before he was famous. It was like 95 or whatever that came out, and it was just Idris Elba being like, just full on.
Which Bond movie was it?
It was GoldenEye.
Ah.
And he was just full on Stringer Bell. Like, he was just like, yeah, I see you. Oh, God.
Stringer Bell. I love the color palette of the James Bond movies.
Yes.
And even in the new one, it always has this killer colors. And these movies always take so long to film.
Yeah. It's really interesting because there's a dullness to it, but also a vibrance at the exact same time. So I hear exactly
like they always just said, look at this, still going. They're still rumbling. See, this is a good opening sequence, man.
That's a terrifying.
I used to fight on cranes like this all the time.
Yeah. You had a story about cranes.
We used to climb cranes all the time in Toronto. We'd break in, go through the basement. No, not break in, just hop the fence. Like a wooden fence.
Yes. Well, that's,
And then we would climb all the way up the thing and then all the way out to the end.
That's terrifying. I saw somebody.
It was awesome.
I don't know what bridge it was. I think it was a bridge in New York, though. And it was somebody standing on, like, the girders, and they were running from girder to girder with nothing, underneath. And it was like, you slip once, and all you do is fall down into, fast traffic. And just get run over 100 times. And that's if the fall didn't kill you in the first place, because it was, like, a 60-foot drop.
We would only ever go, out to the end of the crane. And I remember one time, the crane was up like this.
Yeah.
And so when you got to the end of the one part, you had to climb up like beams, like this.
Yeah.
Like this. It's just X's going all the way up.
Oh, God.
And the one dude, and he's wearing fucking cowboy boots, goes and starts climbing up that. And I was like, that's too much for me, man. And all I could see in my mind was him falling to his death.
Yeah.
I was like, this is even too much for me. But he thankfully lived.
Now, I'm going to reveal a little ignorance here. I still, to this day, don't know how a crane is erected.
With a crane.
See, that's the thing. I had that exact answer.
It's like the chicken
from
and the egg.
I had that exact answer one time from somebody. They're like, "Oh, another crane puts it up." I'm like, "Who put that crane up?" Because it would have to be
Chicken
taller
and
than
the egg, bro.
Right? And it's just because
Like how they make the pyramids.
One day it wasn't there. The next day it was there. The only answer is that magic is real.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly the only thing.
That's.
Man, you must have good knee joints for all this jumping around shit. Holy Christ.
I openly wept the first time I saw this, and I was a young man. So Daniel Craig obviously gets this movie he had been in stuff, but nothing that would say, hey, this is the next James Bond.
Right.
So he'd been in Kid in King Arthur's Court, Elizabeth, I Dreamed of Africa, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Road to Perdition, Golden Compass he was in. He was in, what was it? Why am I not thinking of it?
I don't know.
Munich. He was in Munich.
Oh, yes, he was in Munich.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't have it written down.
He was good. He was good at Road to Perdition, too.
But yeah, he's got all these different movies, but it was Layer Cake that actually...
You're cheating, James Bond.
What's that?
He's cheating. The guy's been running the whole time. James Bond's been cheating.
Yeah. But, you gotta do that sometimes. But the... I love that was so clearly a padded thing.
You're not cheating if it's James Bond.
No, of course. Well, because you have a license to kill, not a license to win the game.
A license to not cheat.
Yes. Yeah, well, no, because you have the license, you're allowed to cheat.
But there was no rules set out. Oof. They was like, no, taking trucks, we're going to just parkour run.
Yeah. See, he's being particularly rough here because he had to chase him. He probably would have been
exactly.
really nice. You're going to find out he has a parking ticket. He's just like, you might be chasing me. This is
James Bond's first run, yeah.
But yeah, so Layer Cake was what convinced Barbara Broccoli in that he could do this. But it's also, ironically, what convinced me, because I remember seeing this guy. I'm like, he doesn't seem like Bond. I don't know. And a guy at work told me, go watch Layer Cake, and he actually loaned me his copy. And he was always very cool about that. He always wanted, I think, nobody else seemed to be interested enough in movies, and that whenever I showed the like slightest interest in something, he would give me. He's like, "Here, quick,
Right,
take
watch
it."
it. I'd take it. Fucking
Well,
A.
because we were talking about Guillermo del Toro. I'm like, "Oh, I love him," and he's like, "Have you ever seen The Devil's Backbone?" I'm like, "No," and he like magically
He
just
just
appears
pulls it out
and
of
is
his
like, "Here."
pocket.
He's like, "I've been planning for this exact moment," but yeah, I saw it and I was like, "Yeah, I totally get it now." It's kind of like the same way with Clive Owen and what's it called? The Spike Lee joint. The name is escaping me right now.
Inside Man?
Yes, thank you. And I saw the exact same thing. It's like I could totally see him as Bond, at least at that time.
I think it's going to be Idris Elba.
I think it should be, but then also comes to the question of age.
So?
It's because it depends on what they want him to do and stuff like that, right? And it's like maybe they don't want a guy starting out in his 50s as Bond. Like he was.
How old is he right now?
39.
No, I mean now.
Oh, how old is he?
In the newest James Bond.
He's now just entering his 50s.
Right.
So.
Right, he's there.
Yeah.
I hope they find a brand new guy.
That's actually
a brand new guy that we've never seen. They've seen him over in Europe or whatever. We don't know, and he could be James Bond. Okay. Or you go with what I said, and you bring Pierce Brosnan back. But then you go with but then you just choose a fucking stunt guy.
Yeah, and but it's got nothing to do with that though. They also want to create a scenario where you believe that it's stunt guy or not, that the person doing it could do it.
That was a sweet fucking action scene. 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
Well, there's the song and whatever, 15 minutes. Pretty sweet. Pretty fucking sweet. Scene. Yep.
But also just like, we were talking about the old fan theory, which I think we talked about during GoldenEye too, but just the basic idea that there is no James Bond. James Bond and 007 is a designation.
Yep.
Which is why, despite the fact that he's now new here,
I dig that.
Is still Judi Dench, who was M from previous.
Right.
And like all this kind of stuff. And they mentioned the Cold War. They mentioned the Cold War being over. This is obviously more present day because it has cell phones and stuff like that. So it's not going back to the Cold War. So I really like that. But somebody had pitched the idea that several former James Bonds had like created their own version of Spectre. And then that was going to be the bad guy for one of the movies, and that ended up not happening. I think it was supposed to be like Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton or something. Like Timothy Dalton was going to be the main bad guy.
That's super cool.
But that didn't go. But then it ended up GoldenEye ends up being kind of that version.
Pretty much. It's like the same kind of idea.
They don't want to. I feel like people are too afraid to make certain things canon. They're just like, this is what's really happening, by the way, and now that's
it's always totally an old Asian lady running the show, bro.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
Look at this yacht, man. Sometimes I see these size, this yacht's millions upon millions of dollars. Like, holy Christ.
I saw Shaq has this yacht, which is like, it looks like a friggin' cruise ship.
Of course it does. It's Shaq's.
And it's like matte black, and it's very cramped for him. He's
still like, why did I buy this? You think he would have one specially made for the Shaq size?
This is the cheapest one I can fit in.
You need one of those like baby things for adults to go on the toilet so like you don't fall through.
Yes.
As an adult.
Yeah. How did they know he was British?
Come on, you can just tell.
Yeah.
His teeth.
White people.
Oh, there she is, She's pretty. I'd bang her.
Oh, absolutely.
She's very attractive.
Every elderly British woman was the most beautiful woman in the world in their heyday. You go back at Helen Mirren, Maggie Smith was a knockout. Who else was in there?
Of course, they're beautiful. They make beautiful older women. They were beautiful younger women.
Absolutely. But it's just like, well, even when you see them, because like Maggie Smith is just like, looks like an old woman and has since like Hook.
That's
Downton Abbey and Harry Potter.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the creepiest version of that I've ever seen.
Yeah, Downton Abbey. I love that dude's cell phone too.
Yeah.
The bad guy's like the worst. Like even when I started having cell phones, I didn't have that piece of shit. Like, you think, like, oh, my God. He probably already burned his face doing a mission for you years ago. Like, maybe you can hook him up with a better fucking phone.
Well, what's crazy is that, like, the jump, because, I mean, that was, like, there were no smartphones when this movie came out. There wasn't the iPhone.
He's, like, T9ing ellipsis. Takes fucking all afternoon.
It does take some time.
Holy fuck.
Good on you for using T9. I didn't even remember the term. So
I was doing it for so long, of course I know.
So Daniel Craig, he had actually rejected the role for this initially because he didn't really want to fall into kind of the Bond formula.
Yeah, no. You don't want to be like, you don't want to make $85 million per movie for 5 movies. Yeah, that sounds like shit.
Well, but I mean, there is always the artist side of it that they don't want to do that. But also, he just didn't want to come and do the same thing that everybody else did.
Right.
It's like, great. I was like, there's nothing special about that to me. But then he read the script and then he was all in. And then when he found out he got it, Barbara Broccoli did exactly, it's the cliche thing that we always talk about, which is like, you're in the movies, kid, like that kind of thing. She called him. He was at the grocery store and he's like, you're the next Bond, kid, like suit up, like that sort of thing. And he just literally abandoned his shopping cart and went to a bar and grabbed a martini.
It had a martini.
Like that was just that is
oh my God, could you imagine like sitting there at that bar having the drink, be like, oh my God, I'm the next James Bond.
Yeah. And not allowed to say it.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Maybe he's telling everybody.
There's 100% when he was up for the role, he had to sign
I'm going to be the new James Bond. And they were like, fuck off, bloke. You fucking asshole. I'm James Bond too, you fucking asshole. Like, they wouldn't believe him anyways.
And he was, because it was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. It was.
But no, actually, the exact quote was Barbara Broccoli said to him, "Over to you, kiddo," was the exact.
Over to you, kiddo.
Which is a real fun way to speak to a 39-year-old.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
39. Let's
so
put
what?
that.
She's like 39, so old she can call him kiddo.
39.
Beauty.
Wow.
Yo, dude, I'm telling you right now, if they hired you to be like James Bond in the next movie, I'm sure they would have you whipped up into James Bond shape, because I'm sure that he wasn't fucking looking like that in his little pink mankini.
No, for sure.
But can we fast forward to that scene and then leave it there for the duration
and then
of the film?
just pause for 2 hours.
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No, not for me.
Oh, okay, great.
But I was going to ask you, but I felt weird about it. But well, that's like the old thing that Seth Rogen said when he did Green Hornet, and he lost all the weight for that. And he's like, yeah, it's amazing how easy losing weight is when you just throw a ton of money at it.
Yeah, that's the same thing that Buddy said from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah. He wrote this big, long, like, tweet or whatever the fuck it came out.
Yeah.
It was a statement that he had released. It was a big one, and it was so perfect. It was like, this is so easily attainable. He's like, I just got the studio to pay for all my stuff, and for 6 months, you know what I mean? It was like the most impossible thing unless you were in like this industry. Yeah. But it was kind of like he was like satirizing that whole.
Mm-hmm. But that being said, I'm fully on board with doing that if that's what it takes.
Fucking right. They'd have to take you to the old fucking where they just take you to like the boot camp.
Yeah.
She's like, did he just put porno on my computer?
That'd be amazing. He just goes on and it was just like.
Exactly. It's just a dirty site.
And it's stuff that where it's like, it's not even pornography, but he obviously was using it for that. It was like pictures of like cats rubbing their heads on corners and stuff like. You're like, what? I don't understand. So Pierce Brosnan was actually asked back for this movie. Rumor is that his representation requested $30 million plus royalties for the movie.
Okay.
So they were kind of like, I don't really want to pay that much money.
Man, that would have been so awesome if Pierce Brosnan was in this movie. Holy fuck.
I don't.
But then the next James Bond would have been then him, right? It would have been.
Yeah, but it's. Well, I mean, everything changes when that goes down, right? Like, Pierce Brosnan was a very rare case where he was supposed to be Bond, then wasn't Bond, then still ended up being Bond.
Right.
But, I don't know that Daniel Craig ever would have done it. But also, they changed it. Well, I guess they changed it to be more origin story after it wasn't going to be.
Right. That's what I was going to say, because I was like, I can't see. This is like a whole new start for James Bond.
Yeah.
Like in tone and in grittiness and all this. So I don't know if I could see him. Oh, you know what I read too from Mr. Fukujimo? He said that look what he thinks it's he's not even wearing his James Bond shit. If that was like, if he was a couple years later, they would never would have done that, because he would have fucking shot them.
He wears the shit out of that.
Of course he does.
Like, I'm semi-hard right now.
He said that Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
the reason that they didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was supposed to direct the movie first. His take on it was much more Roger Moore.
Yeah.
He wanted to make it kind of more whimsical and kind of like, you know, like tongue in cheek. And they were like, this is not what we're going for, especially in the last outing of all of these movies with him being, you know what I mean? I think I think they made the right choice, because I think all of a sudden seeing a Goofy or even Goofy-esque, it would be what the fuck? Like,
I could see, like, when you switch Bonds again, I could see going down that route.
Right, exactly.
But you can't, once you've gone down a path, you can't change it.
And especially with the same guy.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like, and then you're going to make a Goofy one. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
and I'll tell you, I found this so refreshing, because, like, I like the old James Bond and the Visit to Q and all that kind of stuff, and it's like whatever. But had this movie been that, I don't think I would have enjoyed it nearly as much.
That whole, you know, Visit with Q thing gets a little old.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that too, like, think of the progression of the Pierce Brosnan movies. This is not Pierce's fault. This is always the thing too, because so many people are like, "Oh, I didn't like Pierce Brosnan as Bond because his movies were shitty." Was it his fault that the movies were shitty?
No. Well, GoldenEye was amazing, and the rest of them were just kind of ridiculous.
GoldenEye was good. The World Is Not Enough was fine.
And the one where he's like hand gliding and the satellites like shooting at him or whatever, I'm like, oh my god.
That made me laugh.
Plus, it's supposed to have real stunts, not CG.
Yes, that made me laugh so hard too, because there's a documentary that was all about, like, it was basically the making of all the movies, and then he's like, and he was talking about that thing. He's like, tsunami kite surfing. That's what it was. Yeah. And he's laughing so hard. He's like, this is the scene where I'm doing tsunami kite surfing.
It was Pierce Brosnan.
And he's just like, what? Like, so ridiculous. It's kind of like that moment when Ewan McGregor found out that episode 2 was going to be called Attack of the Clones.
Right.
And he just instantly was like, what?
Attack of the Clones. See, that tsunami shit reminds me of, like, Escape from New York.
Yes.
Or LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, what the fuck? Like, just so ridiculous.
Yeah. And it has, and like, there's some ridiculousness is allowed.
Of course.
Because you're supposed to, especially in those versions. Especially like the Roger Moore version was probably the most prevalent of this, where, like, no matter what happened, he always just landed, had the drink in his hand, was ready to go.
Had the drink.
He's always just like, it's just instantly.
I always loved
he could
like
land on a
Jaws.
parachute and then a drink just shoots
Yeah,
in
like
his hand.
Jaws falls from a plane way up there.
Yeah.
Lands through the roof of a place and then just opens the door and it's like, grrr. And I'm like, oh my God.
Because his Jaws were strong.
Right. He landed Jaws first, thankfully.
That lines up for me. But I was actually kind of hoping, to be honest, that Inspector with Dave Bautista and the character he was playing, I thought he was going to be Jaws. I thought something was going to happen to him, and then you'd see him, like, again later in the movie.
Oh, yeah, or something, yeah.
Technically, maybe.
Right.
Because he gets
We
yanked
didn't
out of the
see
thing.
him die. We just saw him get sucked out of the train.
We didn't see him die, and he had something wrapped around his head, so, like, something could have happened.
That's cool. I like that.
I'd be
I
totally
dig that,
on board.
actually, yeah.
All right. Ladies,
There it is.
the water he's swimming in is not an ocean. It's the women seeing him in this outfit. Which, by the
He's
way,
actually just playing in the sand right now. The camera's the opposite direction.
which, by the way, I was cuckolded by a photo the other day.
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, somebody did a mashup, like Photoshop between Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, and I showed her the picture, and she just went like, oh. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, this is the person she'll be picturing for the rest of her life.
Yep.
So, which I don't blame her.
God,
I pictured her last time.
Yeah, what the hell?
Too.
M's husband.
Yeah, so the guy who actually I have, who is that? It's in here. Oh, so it's actually the transport coordinator, the guy who just coordinates all, like, the vans and stuff like that. They just needed somebody to lay down. They're like, you do it. You're around the right age.
Look at all the crazy technology they have, but their phones are still like.
Yeah, well, computers worked. Like, we had the internet, but, like, we didn't have a computer as a phone yet. They hadn't made the technology small enough.
I love how they say this new Apple 13, it's like stronger than a Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the blood and death.
And that's the thing. And that's why, like, because people are always like, oh, why are phones so bloody expensive? And I'm like, because they are everything
In one.
and they made it tiny. That's why.
Yeah, it's TV. You can stream. It's got a camera.
It's a better camera than most cameras.
Yeah.
It's a better TV than most TVs, other than size. It's it's a better computer than just like a business laptop.
Did he just walk into this place?
Yeah. Well,
It's like a bar at the hotel or whatever. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is large Mount Gay. Nice.
With soda.
Well, yeah, this is. I like this too because I kept waiting for him to do the order, and he never does.
Oh, see, they're waiting too.
Yes.
Why were they all looking at him?
Because he's the guy who. Because those are the guys who gave him the car to park. And then he realized, oh, you're
I thought they
not
were
a
waiting
valet.
for the shaken nuts dude. And they're like, he didn't say it.
That would be amazing.
He didn't park our car, and then he didn't say the line. God damn it!
This guy, who's the bad guy here, he reminds me a little bit of like Tony Shalhoub in Men in Black. With his big, he's got the big nose. He even sounds a little bit like him.
Oh, and she looks like Priyanka Chopra,
This is
a.k.a. Nick Jonas's wife.
This is James Bond's number one thing, and I think if he was honest in his job interview, they're like, "What's the thing you're looking forward to most about being a 00 agent?" And he's like, "Oh, definitely going after damaged women." Because it's
Banging
just like,
women, and then there's no strings attached because they end up dead.
well, because he always at the beginning of the movie he either bangs somebody he works with, or somebody within their organization. Or the girlfriend / wife of one of the bad guys. And then another woman comes in that he sexualizes but never necessarily has sex with until the end.
Ooh, Moneypenny. He never gets with Moneypenny.
Never gets with Moneypenny, but I'm what was it in it was one of the Bonds. I think it might have been Die Another Day. He nails the psychiatrist.
Oh my god, he just asked, he's like, can I pay in steaks? She's like, table stakes? No.
No.
That's a different game.
No. You need kitchen steaks.
Oh, yo, you can't. She's like, you can't. We don't even know what kind of car it is, bud, so you can't do that.
Yeah. Ooh, I wonder what
Like, all right.
Yeah. I wonder what poker would be like for for vampires. What are the stakes? Don't say stakes. I like that.
They're always late night games.
Yeah, of course. I liked very much. I saw a clip from What We Do in the Shadows. And they were at a casino because they were able to go out at night, and they were playing a Big Bang Theory slot machine. And he yells out, he goes, "Bazinga!" He's like, "That is the war cry of their tall, slender leader."
Way to go, James Bond.
I like though that losing your vehicle is just irksome to a guy that successful though. It's just like,
now I gotta
really
buy
like
a
that
car and
car.
drive that home.
Now I gotta get on my phone and get the exact same car. He's like, I'll buy one. It'll be waiting for him on the way out.
Oh, he's eyeing her up. He's like, that's how I get to him. Nice dress.
She didn't even order a drink. Either that or the
He said
service
she's
is
cut
terrible.
off. She showed up way too late.
Yeah.
And he's like, you will stand outside. You will not get a drink because
right.
I just lost all my money to that motherfucker.
All right. So, Japan, to promote this movie, they made a leaflet. And this is definitely the first time you've heard this, so don't act any other way. But basically, they created the 7 rules to receive 00 status. So it is the MI6 fan site actually translated this. So here's what it says. You don't fear death and won't give in to torture. So that's 1, even though it's 2 things. You have Olympic-level shooting skills. 3, even if you double-cross your own parents, you will never double-cross the organization, which seems weird. Number 4, you have knowledge that would surprise even a scholar and a sense of humor that would make even a bad girl grin.
Ooh.
You have the sociability of a lamb but remain a lone wolf. Number 6, you have the highest level of experience with alcohol, gambling, cars, and food. And number 7, you can fall in love, but you can never love.
Ooh.
So that's that.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like my life mantra. Only the one about the drinking and the masturbation. What was it?
I think so. So we have
We took him nothing to get her into that car.
Oh, of course not.
Couple of quips.
We missed her doing the horseback riding, though, right?
No, yeah, she came in.
Yeah, she came in on the horseback. So that was actually something. She would hurt her leg or something. She had like a strain in her leg, and it was actually quite painful for her. So they were going to get a stunt woman to do it for her, and she refused because she's like, this is my Bond girl moment, is being on this horse. So she just kind of like literally rode through the pain.
I like that.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta have your moment. Mm-hmm. But it actually took more. Okay, it took James Bond a couple of quips and her old man's whip.
Yeah.
Beating his car. That's what the kids are saying.
I get it.
It's probably over by now.
Yeah. Come on. You know how
Am I even allowed to say whip? Is that culturally appropriate?
It's fine. It just makes you sound as old as you are. And
Good. Lame and white and old. Good.
White.
Great. White.
You know how comfortable the bed in this place must be, and they're on the floor? That's how comfortable the carpet is.
She just said, she just said, you don't wear a condom? He said it keeps things simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here you go. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
So he said, I'm out of practice, or I have lots of times I could have been happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a nice dress.
It is a nice dress, but I'm more focused on his nipples.
He's married to Rachel Weisz, is he not?
Yes, he is married to Rachel Weisz. That is 100% true. And that was something I knew, then forgot, then relearned. And I was like blown away. And then it occurred to me that I 100% knew that like from a long time ago. And I was like, oh.
It's like a cycle that happens where you forget, remember, remember, forget.
Yes. Yeah, I double remember sometimes.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Oh, she's going downtown. He does not shave down there at all.
That would be my
favorite. It is
favorite.
a bush.
I would love for him, like, it would be great if he had one just terrible flaw. It's just like, he can't read or something. Like it's just like, everything else, he's so sophisticated, whatever. And then he, like, opens up the menu. I'll have the salmon. Don't play footsie.
Like, isn't she, like, she should seriously know this guy's trying to get information out of her. Like, come on now.
One would assume. So we talked about Spectre a little bit, and the fact that, in the movie Spectre, kind of Blofeld and all these things show back up. There was a whole thing with rights for the longest time. The Eon didn't have the rights to any of those characters because they were all from Thunderball, and they didn't have the rights to only Thunderball. And the people who did have the rights, they kept remaking that movie, and like they'd make it into it like they did what it was Never Say Never Again is just a remake of Thunderball.
Right.
And they got Connery back to be in that movie because it wasn't a Cubby Broccoli film and stuff like that. So they didn't have the rights forever, and then after the guy died, they managed to make a deal with his estate, and they got the rights, and that's why they're bringing everybody back now finally in Spectre. So originally this was the beginning of Quantum.
Did he just leave her?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got all the information.
Yeah. This was the beginning of Quantum, which was supposed to be the replacement for Spectre, and then they kind of just... They didn't abandon Quantum, but they just basically said Quantum is almost like Spectre's like the parent company of
right.
Quantum.
I gotta watch that again.
Yeah.
I have to watch all the rest of his before we get to them 8 years later.
Yes.
Remember this? This came to Toronto.
Yep.
Body Worlds.
There was a version of it in Niagara Falls for the longest time. Like there was a residence thing they had in some now that same building is like a like one of those like warehouse, like those like what's it called? Where it's just all like an outlet kind of thing. What they do to her head?
I know. Look at the skull on that one.
It's like an egg yarmulke.
That's because these are all hobos they just killed like 4 nights ago.
That is precisely what they were. They were almost exclusively homeless Chinese people.
Really?
Yes. Not that they murdered. They were like they found dead.
Mm-hmm.
Although blurred lines, right? But I imagine it was a lot of people they just found like dead of exposure.
Absolutely, they killed them all. Whatever.
Or
they realized that a fresh body's the best way to wax them up.
Or what they did is they convinced them they were going to be watching a Bond movie. They're like, you're going to be the first people. Bond. You're going to be the first people. And then they told everybody to wait in this room, and they just died waiting.
They were never like, I don't want to get up. It'll upset them. I'll just sit here in a little while longer.
I'm so bored. This was cool too because this is like the quietest action scene in the world. Yeah, but it's just like it's tense.
Like nobody can make a. Yeah. Why would he fall for that?
Yeah, he nods over there. No thanks. I love this. Sit down quietly, and he's got plenty of time because you know how people are always falling asleep in the seats of. It's a lot of walking.
Museums or whatever the hell this counts as.
Yes. Yeah, that's. See, this is a smartphone.
Ellipsis. He's got you now.
My first phone after a flip phone was a
key's gone.
Was a BlackBerry. So
what room was it?
A lot. What?
What room number was it?
I didn't see.
53.
That a boy.
I could be James Bond.
Mm-hmm. Something else that happened too is Quentin Tarantino was interested in doing a movie, and they had a very similar kind of experience. He had a very different take. He wanted the whole movie to be black and white. He didn't want any of the themes. He didn't want what else was there? No opening title sequence. It was going to be
4 hours long and starred Sam Jackson.
It was going to be almost exclusively voiceover, like the book would be. How it's all him
like
narrating.
A noir movie almost.
Basically, and they were just like, and it's funny because like he kind of came to them, and like it's not like they were even searching him out, and then they just clashed. He comes to them, he's like, I'm directing the next Bond movie, and it's going to be this, and they're like, no. And then he was like pissed, and I guess
okay then.
There was Sir Richard Branson was just
that's
there,
right.
Getting searched at the thing.
Anally frisked.
Yeah. Yeah, he insisted on that. That was weird. It's a weird thing for a background actor to insist on.
I could have things in my bum, you know. You better check up there.
I've been trying to be extras and everything. I'm always trying to get probed. I'm like, I think my character would be sitting on a butt plug in this scene. He's like, he's at a restaurant, and I'm like, yeah, he's getting ready to party.
He's got a butt plug. I'm getting right into the character. I dug deep.
Yeah.
Deep up my bum. Oh,
that guy like he screams suspicious. I would definitely tackle that guy in an airport. He looks like the guy who kidnapped the people for Hostel. You know, he's got a certain European assuming look.
Oh, I guess I thought he knew he was being watched, but then maybe not. Yeah. Because he just went into this still changing.
Well, you're about to commit a major crime, so I mean you're still. You know, you're probably still a little paranoid.
Uh-oh.
See, he
we still noticed him.
He walked a bit like a Terminator there.
That's right.
See, look at he's a Eurotrash Terminator.
Eurotrash Terminator.
He gets on his motorcycle and says boo. So yeah, they didn't actually get this was an interesting thing too. So MGM had the rights to Casino Royale that they bought when they did the original one.
Right.
But the excuse me. So they didn't get the rights to this movie till 2000, and they actually had to trade the rights to Spider-Man. So I said no, MGM, sorry. They were MGM, or they're with MGM, and they had to trade it to Sony, who owned the rights to Casino Royale.
No shit.
And yeah, so MGM had to give up Spider-Man
for Casino Royale.
Wow.
It doesn't seem like a very fair trade, to be honest with you.
But at the same time, I don't think anybody was planning on doing anything, right? It was just like, nobody's going to touch it.
Still, my God, one movie for an entire character.
Yeah. Yeah,
nothing can be done with Spider-Man. Forget this.
Well, it would be maybe different if it was like now you get the rights to Spectre and all this kind of stuff. Like that would maybe make more sense because it's going to open up a lot more for a lot of movies. But yeah, not the case in this one.
Why is everyone panicking because like the fire alarm went off? The building's on fire. What the fuck? Like,
well, when the fire alarm when the fire alarm goes off in your apartment building, are there sprinklers? And stuff. No, people are assuming there's a real fire and not just like somebody pulled the alarm, right?
Oh fuck!
Yeah, this is.
He forgot to hang up.
Yeah.
He said I'll call you back. Did not hang up.
His roaming minutes are gonna be like out of this world.
Oh shit! And he's going just like the T-1000. He's going right for the cop car.
Yep.
He's got a good Tom Cruise run going.
Yeah. So look at it. He's just got this dead
Is he an
stare.
android? What is happening with this man?
100%.
They've jihaded him, man. He's in the zone. That's why. He's in the I'm going to kill myself zone.
Yeah. He knows what's going to go down.
He's like, they're going to give
I
my
think-
family free vacation to Disney if I do this.
Yeah.
Missed a lot of birthdays.
Well, I think his plan is still to, like, get it done. What's interesting is the guy with the burnt face was supposed to be the guy doing this job. So the question is, like, would he not have
fuck
stuck
is that
out like
guy?
a sore thumb, being like a guy with like the entire side of his face burnt
Well,
off?
you notice that guy like a sore thumb too, with
Well-
his creepy stare.
Yeah, but I'm suspicious of everybody who's not white. That's fucking awful.
And I'm suspicious of everyone that is white.
Me too.
So we got it covered.
I'm way more, especially now. It's like, which one's going to be the Karen that makes us not be able to fly?
Look at this. That's a neat little bomb.
Yeah, it looks like a little mag light.
It's also, yeah, exactly. It's a little light so you can find your keys.
Lazy, yes. Which ironically, you hit the wrong button, and it doesn't matter if you can find your keys because now you're
Exactly.
dead.
Oh, I love a good plane explosion. Oh, he's still giving her. He's got some good cardio. That Bond.
What up?
This is like The President's on here. This is that plane movie with Harrison Ford.
Now, here's a test to see how much you listened to me last time. Who was the one actor that was considered, other than Daniel Craig, like seriously considered to play James Bond, a young James Bond?
It's not Crispin Glover.
It's that. Hey man, I'm James Bond, man. Hi, Kat.
I know that. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna get it.
I'll have to tell you eventually because
Brendan
this is like
Fraser.
yes,
Okay,
definitely.
tell me.
It was Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
he was-
right. Damn.
But he was too young.
Really?
he
That's
was too
hilarious.
young for
He's
the-
British?
Yes.
I forget that he's
That was
British.
exactly the question you asked me the last time, too.
He's the Brits are so good at taking off their accents.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Brits and Australians, it's like it's almost like they put that accent on just to be like, we're going to put ourselves ahead of the Yanks.
Head of the Yanks.
But the rest of the time, the second we're not looking, they're like, oh, hey, oh, like they're all Tony
shit.
Danza. Oh, the stunts are. Look at how good that was.
Just missed him.
Yeah. Getting all the animals rubbing up against me right now. So yeah, Henry Cavill was only 22 years old when he.
Maybe he'll be the next James Bond.
I wouldn't be mad at that, to be really
He'll be a
honest
big
with you.
ripped Bond.
Well, I think they would let him not be Superman anymore. Like he'd
Yeah,
probably
but
still be
he's
muscular.
just that big, though. He likes to be that big. I don't think
Yeah.
you could physically move the way James Bond needs to be if you're that big.
I agree.
You need to be more like this size, a Jason Statham kind of. That's true. Like The Rock, I'm Bond.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking move.
Oh God.
Boom.
Who would be the
Nice.
worst? What celebrity would be the worst Bond? Like if they were like, hey, this big celebrity is gonna be
Tracy
Bond.
Morgan.
Who, by the way, is now in triplets.
Oh,
He's
that's
gonna
what I
be-
heard. Yes. Oh my gosh. And hopefully Arnold and DeVito will do it because that is amazing.
And it's funny because they were like, I saw that, and then somebody tweeted,
I'm
they're
your
like,
brother.
somebody tweeted, they're like, so I guess in this version of this sequel to Twins, we're to presuppose that Tracy Morgan is in his 70s. I think what's gonna
So
happen.
what if he's supposed to be their brother? Then
No, I think what's going to happen, and I'm calling it here, he was a leftover embryo from the experiment and was
Right.
born later. So he was born like 20 years after them or
Right,
whatever.
but he's still their brother.
But he is from that same batch, essentially.
this is a good action scene too.
Yeah, this one was an important thing for them to do because we're about to get into a situation where there's so many. We're just gonna sit and be quiet.
Yeah, for like the
scenes.
longest time.
So we're gonna be really loud for a while, and don't worry, we're gonna get that way again.
Whoa.
Was one of my favorite things in I think it was Jackass 2. They got a jet, and they were putting things and they were throwing things in front of the jet and just watching it fire off like a bullet. Like somebody took a shoe and they threw it, and it went up, and the second it caught into
Whoa.
the jet stream, it just went pew, like a laser.
Surf the door. Oh.
See, that's what would have happened in a Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Yeah.
He would have been, and then like somehow it would have wheels on the
And a
outside.
martini.
Yeah.
And obviously, right? Come on. But as he's flying by, he's like winking at girls, you know, they're all, ladies.
You know what I would like to do? Instead of the Bonds all being a bad guy, I think it would be cool to have like the Bond, like almost like the Prisoner, is they're all like kind of in isolation. It's like you're
Not
retired.
today,
and
fucker.
you're retired, you're living well, all that good stuff, but you know, you're not a part of like the everyday world anymore. And then they all kind of come out and they end up helping Bond in a way. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, so, wow, that got a good jump.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, he's probably a parkour guy as well.
Yeah. I like that the...
Whoa.
Oh, no, I guess not. Oh. I feel like that should have stopped him just enough on his own. It would have been very funny if this was just a water truck and this was all for nothing. Well, I mean, you didn't want to smash the jet. But,
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, it wouldn't have been a gigantic
Perrier.
death explosion. Yeah. Love this look. It's like the funniest moment of the movie. Because they don't deal in a lot of funny moments.
He's like, holy shit.
But the look on his face is just like, what happened? It's like in Multiplicity. Look at me. How do I look?
That's so you remember that. Oh, they don't know who you are, bud.
I was watching or listening to How Did This Get Made? They were going to do Multiplicity. And then they watched it and like, are we all in agreement? This movie's too good.
It was 3, 4 good. How many Michael Keatons are in there?
Yeah, I know.
If there's 4, then it's 4 good.
Yeah, it's 4 Michael Keatons worth.
Oh, fuck. Oos me.
This was really good, too. Why would you make it beep?
Just
Like,
so you know what it is.
Is it...
So you know it's armed.
This, yeah, no, but you're not going to be anywhere near it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. The only reason you make it beep... Oh, he was making eye contact with that dude when he exploded. Do you imagine? So say there's an afterlife... You go immediately to the afterlife, and all you see is that guy staring at your eyes all the time. Now you're just like, that son of a bitch.
Clicked it right onto his belt there, eh?
Yeah. I love that they
like-
gave him, like, asthma.
When they, you know, busted,
Yeah.
you know, him, Bond there, and they're like, get out of the car, where they just like, thank God he was a terrible driver. Because clearly he had a straight shot. Clearly he turned the thing, like...
Yeah.
They didn't see the other guy jump out or the...
Yeah.
Well, they were way up the runway, so what the fuck, right?
Well, everybody's all wet, and you know how distracted you are when you're wet, right? You're just like,
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, you got jeans on. You're like, this is awful.
yeah. And this is it.
Oh, another friggin' hammock-related death.
Yeah. This is just, yeah, that's the thing, too. She was not murdered.
Exactly.
She just could not navigate the hammock.
She spun a bunch of times, and I go, see, look at her.
Like a cartoon character.
First dead body.
I have a hard time believing
Yeah.
that a member of MI6 has not seen a dead body. Like, you would think that most of these people have been cops, like at least like the brass, right? Have been cops or some form of law enforcement or military, and you've been around a dead body or two. I want, you know what? I wouldn't mind if you opened up more of a Bond universe, kind of like how they're doing with like Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts and stuff like that. I would love to see stories. I'd love to see stories of this M as a young.
That would be super cool, actually. That's a great idea.
Because there's so many directions you can go in. You can tell stories. What's really interesting, I'm listening now to the new.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm listening.
This is what they're doing with that new shot. Put a magnet on your arm.
See, you're gonna end up drawing in the wrong, like the opposite.
We need
crowd
views,
of people.
okay?
Yeah.
We need subscribes.
Yeah.
I don't ask where they're from or what's up. Just subscribe, okay?
Yeah, exactly. I will say the words
MAGA.
that you say. Yes.
Trump forever.
I will say the words that you need to hear, which is basically the whole business model of Fox News. Don't worry about the fact that I'm double vaccinated. A vaccination will kill you and it'll take your freedom. Even though my company, who is endorsing everything I'm saying right now, has forced us to has basically said we can't come here if we're not vaccinated and don't wear masks around the office. That being said, because somebody was saying, I guess they looked up Fox's mandates in their own building, and they looked up Biden's mandates, and Fox's are more stringent.
That's amazing.
And they're all like, Biden's forcing the government to do this. They're
just riling up the team. That's all they're doing. It's like straight lies.
Tucker Carlson said that by forcing vaccines on the military people, he's like, it's to get all the free-thinking macho men out of the army so they can take it over with. I'm like, yeah, that seems like something they'd be interested in doing.
Yeah, like...
And also, do you know how many vaccines...
That guy is the biggest piece of trash.
Yeah. Do you know how many vaccines the average military person has? Because they have to travel to all these different countries.
Like yellow fever, exactly.
Yeah.
To get rid of the manly men, a.k.a. the straight white men.
Yeah.
That guy is just a vile piece of shit.
Oh, he's the worst. But anywho, I totally forgot what we were saying.
It should be a designer body bag. If you live in a place like that, that body bag should be money.
How funny would that be if it said Versace on the side, all like glammed out in diamonds?
It's been bedazzled.
Nice. Do you think there's a bedazzler that does diamonds? Like real gems, like ching ching ching?
Oh, yeah. Fucking A. You know, there's whoever's like sitting on top of that giant pile of diamonds that they scoop a little handful out every now and then and be like, here, they're, whatever. That's like totally what happens. The person there's probably got they're not allowed to leave anymore because they saw where they are.
It was like that Simpsons, the Simpsons Jane Goodall character they had. They're like, she's like, diamonds. She's got a handful. God, that would be a fun train ride to take.
Oh my God, yes. Trains are the best. They're so expensive, but they're amazing. If you I despise planes. Taking planes now ever more, I haven't taken it to plane in years, but when I did, it was like you stand in this giant lineup and then you get asked a bunch of questions and then you take the fucking plane ride. And then when you get there, you stand in a giant lineup and you answer the exact, like as if something happened in the air.
Sometimes it does.
Like, I bought drugs.
Think about executive decisions. Think about executive decisions.
Oh, true.
Like a whole different group of people came off the plane that
went on the plane.
Right? So.
And I'm just like, what in the shit? But I had the option to take a train once, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. There's a certain old world class of the train.
Tons of leg room. They give you drinks. They feed you a meal. I was like, this is awesome.
I would like to do like the go out west and go through like the mountains.
Nothing.
That's an expensive train.
Oh, hells yes.
That's actually because we talk about like how expensive that Disney space
$6,000 for 2 days. Is that what you said?
No, it's not. No, it's like $2,000 something for 2 days. But
that's not bad. It's still $1,000 a day. Woo!
But not that dissimilar from that Rocky Mountain thing. I think that one is like $1,400 for like 3 days or something.
Jesus Christ!
Like it's.
You are going to space though.
Yes.
But he got the evergreen package.
Yes.
So like she sits down, she pretends you're an agent. You go make out in the bathroom for a while.
Now they made that.
It's like the girlfriend package only for spies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
But they, which technically it is, and I feel like if she doesn't have eyeliner on, that she doesn't have a face. Like I feel like it just flattens out completely. I mean, it's just a contour thing. It's just makeup, but whenever
they draw on the 3D.
No, but whenever
her face is in 2 dimensions, they have to draw the shadow in to make it look like she has a nose.
Yeah, but whenever you see her, because like it was Kingdom of Heaven, Golden Compass, 300 Rise of an Empire, Penny Dreadful, she's always got really defined eyeliner on, not like a thin little thing. It's like she's got bold strokes.
That's her thing
around those. Yeah, and
it's her look.
Yeah, and I just picture it's like, because some people cover up like not flaws. That's not an accurate thing to say because she's a beautiful woman.
She's extenuating her best feature, which is her eyes.
Yes, that's exactly it.
And it would have been her tits, but they putting black circles around her boobs look weird.
Yes.
And I think breasts extenuate themselves when exposed.
Yes.
To Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Now I was very confused because the whole Money Penny joke. I'm the money, every penny of it. I'm like, is she Money Penny? And then I realized she's got a different name. She isn't. And I'm like, oh, is Money Penny like a gag then on the name? Like I thought she was Money Penny up until a very late point in this movie. The first time I saw it,
like she was going to turn out to be.
I thought.
Well, Money Penny's also probably a title that comes along, just like Bond.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But like I thought, because that was in the in the trailer and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's Moneypenny. So I had already come in with the preconceived notion that that's who she was. So it took me a long time to like talk myself out of that, and despite the fact that that's not her name. That's not like they could not be saying enough things to tell me that this is not her. But you know,
I like she asked him that. She's like, "Is that a Rolex?" She's like, "Omega."
yes.
I guess that's another very expensive watch brand.
I think, yeah, but I think that has something to do too with like the switch of the
their backer.
yeah, their backer, because that was another thing. They actually really backed off on that. Like they still
On the
have
product
They
placement.
still have it because obviously you've got your cars and you've got your other things in this movie, and then even places like this train, like that railway is probably a real railway.
That was totally a thing there, though. Rolex, Omega.
Yeah, but
Like, it's better than Rolex.
yeah, but I guess it was so bad in the previous movie that they like people were like giving it the nickname in the business "Buy Another Day," because like it
Buy
was just
another day.
yeah. That if ever a Bond theme song wants to make you angry, that's the one. I guess I'll die another day.
I like your version much better.
And Halle Berry, like they did that all wrong, because Halle Berry could have been like that could have been a lot cooler.
I think she kind of redeemed her Bond girl in like John Wick 3.
Yeah.
What a fucking sweet scene that was.
Like she did some things well, and they
Ooh.
wanted to have the strong character, and that's actually something that Daniel Craig said. He's like, Bond's character, that's who Bond is. He's like, they need to be putting good women in too. Like, so he's like, they deserve their own role, not take this
Right.
role. And so like, which I can get behind that, and I think that's also a selling point, is something him talking about the new one, because they've got a new 00 there now, and it's like, so that should be the one that should be a role that like maintains now through the movies.
Don't you could really have conversations like that with people, where every line is just perfect, you know? Like, oh man.
Yeah, well, me and Aaron Sorkin have a lot of walk and talks, so it's yeah, it comes up. Oh, try and
Where the hell are we here?
Are
Are we still? Oh yeah, Montenegro. No, they moved now. Now they're in
Yeah. Look at read that place.
Kafana Posla Kala Kika.
As good as I was gonna get.
Perfect.
I love this right off the bat. Right off the bat. So like, okay, you're Adam Beach or whatever, or not Adam Beach, Jesus. But like your Beach is this. He just comes up right away. I'm James Bond.
Yeah, like what the hell, right?
Yeah, he's such a dickhead.
It's under beach.
Yeah. And then also outed her. I love this logic too. I'm gonna actually play this.
Exactly.
He's decided to play me anyway.
Yeah.
So he's either desperate or he's overly confident. But either way, that tells me something about him.
I love that so much.
True that.
That's true. It's like he obviously knows who I am, so why
Why even pretend?
yeah. But that's
Why put the effort into pretending when he fucking definitely knows?
But what's also really interesting though is this is a part of the mental game of poker. Right? Is like they're just already
To pretend
playing
that you're a secret agent?
It's kind of no, it's the idea of
Well, they're already trying to fuck with each other's heads.
I'm showing a weakness if I continue to like hold up this lie that I'm whatever, because then he thinks he's got one over on me.
Right.
Whereas if I show you, I know what you know, then I've got one over on you, and it just keeps going. Look how fucking pretty that car is.
Meh. If you're into that kind of thing.
See, I'm very weird with cars because like cars for me are utilities, right? Like I see people like, especially looking at old hot rods and stuff like that. I'm like, you know,
Oh, he's got a couple of weed vapes in there. So
Yeah,
there,
they actually come in play later. But the excuse me, like cars have always been very utilitarian, but if I like went to one of those hot rod places and like say I had my own, like, hey, here's my old like 57 Chevy, it would be all decked out on the inside with like high tech shit, and people would hate me. They're like, this isn't the spirit of the car. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I thought it looked pretty on the outside. Now it looks pretty to me on the inside.
It's better. I always thought the cool idea would be have a car that looks like it is the biggest piece of shit.
Yes.
Like, so nobody's going to fuck with it when you park it anywhere, but in the inside, under the hood, you know, I'm sure any real auto files
Yes.
would be like, oh, look at the tires on this car's. But to the naked regular eye, you'd be like, what a piece of shit.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like rusty, make the one door look like it's rusty and hanging off, even though it's not really. And, you know, like,
I'm on board with that. So this is Giancarlo Gianni. He was in the original Fever Pitch, not the one that was the Jimmy Fallon movie, but the one that was... well, the original Fever
Thought he
Pitch
played
was...
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. The original Fever Pitch was Colin Firth, and it was a soccer movie. So he was in that. He was in...
You mean football?
Yes, you're right. Football.
There, that's better.
Much better. Or footy. You can call it footy, which is weird.
See, they're talking about all this, this is how poker works if you've never seen poker.
Yeah.
Or I don't fucking know. Like, just play the game.
Well, I think the idea is they have to give out some of this stuff because there are some people who are just not going to know. And
I don't.
But like, it matters for the story, and you'll see it when the poker tournament happens too. He leans in a bunch of times, and he's like letting you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, totally.
Because like not everybody knows, and like you're sitting there, you're looking, it's like, okay, he's got a 6 and a 4. Is that good?
Like to anybody that knows, this is a tense scene, right? So we got to know that.
Yeah.
Why is it tense? I don't fucking. It's a fucking card game.
Wouldn't it be the best? He has like a 2-7 offsuit, and then the guy leans in. He's like, he's actually quite fucked right now. So the other movies Giancarlo Gianni was in, he was in Hannibal with the Anthony Hopkins version.
Oh, the Anthony Hopkins one.
He played Patsy there. I think, it was like something Patsy. And he was in Man on Fire.
Say again? What was the last one?
Man on Fire.
With Denzel.
Denzel.
Here the new, it's Denzel Washington and Frances McDermott and Joel Cohen's Hamlet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm on board for that. He was really good. What was it? Why am I blanking on the one he did before?
So look, she's got to reapply. She lost 4 layers of eyeliner there, so she had to re-up.
Yeah. I love...
Oh, they're falling for each other.
I think this is my favorite dynamic he had with a woman in any of his movies, because like she kind of is always has a thing up on him. I was like, uncomfortable is not the right word, but I was weirded out by the relationship he has in Spectre, and I guess we'll continue to have in the next one because she's in that one as well. Is like the
she's
girl,
not.
No, not her. The girl who was in Spectre is also in the next one. He does look fucking fantastic. This is an iconic Bond picture right here when he makes this little boom. I'm fucking James Bond and you're not. But
that was a good look there, eh?
Yeah, it was so good. So was that. But yeah, it's like the new girl is so like young that I'm now like weirded out by it. And it's like, because I remember when I heard about
saying that a younger lady wouldn't be into James Bond.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that like there comes a time when the age difference of the two like equals.
Right.
Is weird. Like these two are around the same age, give or take a few years.
Like him and Ava Green.
Yeah. But now
they seem to be the same age.
But now he's like old enough to be that girl's father, and it's weird. That was the same thing in A View to a Kill, I think it was. The girl, the love interest of him in that.
Is that Roger Moore?
Yeah.
All the Roger Moore girls, like this guy's like 90.
She was in her 20s, and he was like 71 years old, and he like patted her on the head at one point, and I'm just like, it was such a
that was his code word for it's blowy time.
Yeah. It was such a
fucking girls don't listen.
Yeah.
That's what it was back in the look at like Entrapment. All the movies was like the way too old leading man with the way young.
And that was just nothing more than a friggin' ego stroke hand job for all those people.
Oh, of course.
And so I got excited when I heard Spectre, and they're like, what's her face? Monica Bellucci is going to be the Bond girl, and I'm like, oh, this is so awesome.
She's in like 5 seconds.
She's in it for she's in it for
like
a
5
hot
seconds.
minute, and then exactly like the girl at the beginning of this one, it's the same thing, where it's like, I'm going to be here, where you're going to have sex, and you're going to get a little piece of information. I
don't consider that to be the Bond girl, though.
No, there's always 2 Bond girls, but the Bond girl is the main.
Is Ava Green exactly? Pussy Galore and
exactly.
And you said before, because it's like an ego trip for the male star, but I'm guaranteeing you the male star wasn't like, give me a 20-year-old, I walk. They were like, what do the people want to see? They want to see some young piece of ass with our hero.
Oh, yeah, no, and I get that, but also it doesn't, like, I think that there are women beautiful, and Monica Bellucci is a very perfect example of this.
You can find that. Just go to Europe.
Yeah, you don't
go to Europe.
Yeah, but you don't have to get a 20-something-year-old.
Oh, exactly. That's why I say go to Europe. Go to Switzerland. Go to there. You'll be like, oh, my God. Like
if, Catherine Zeta-Jones,
No, she's looking these days.
She's aged, but she's still a beautiful woman.
I haven't seen her in forever.
But like the like it's just like that thing of there are women who are these guys' age, and I mean it doesn't have to be exact. Like,
I know what you mean, but for it to be a little more realistic.
Yeah, because like I just watched that and I was like, the whole point is like he was like, it's the daughter of some other dude, and then he's got a little bit of a father figure thing going on, but a little bit of a lover thing at the same time. I'm like, no, don't be both. Please don't be both. It's
not
so
hot,
gross. I love this dealer.
You only think that because you have kids now.
100%.
You're one of those guys now.
I am a father.
Who cares about
I am
stuff?
a father to a little girl, and life is a lot different.
Yep.
I fully admit that, but at the same time, I'm on board with feeling like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, he's weeping. Oh.
Yeah. No, he did the
He's
temple
trying
touch.
to, right? It's the Oreos.
Yes.
That's his tell. He
he's
grabs as many Oreos as he possibly can and shoves them into his mouth.
You know what would be great? One of the guys at the table should be Richard Kind. And then he's just...
You just had me at Richard Kind.
I know. But you're sitting
Woo.
there. He has a discussion where he's talking about the tells of everybody at the table. This guy does this. Schiffer does this. And then he goes, and then there's that guy. And it's Richard Kind. He just has his whole fist in his mouth. And he's just like, I don't know.
Look at that, man. They're betting more money than I make in a lifetime.
Yeah. Well, one of those plaques is more than we make in a lifetime.
Right? So wait, let's look at them here. Well, I think we worked it out last time.
We did. One is particularly important that we'll talk about.
The big one,
bit.
yeah.
Because there's chips which are worth thousands and whatever, but then there's large, those card-sized placard things.
He got caught looking.
Are worth those are in the tens of thousands and stuff like that, right?
Oh, he got caught looking all right.
This guy is more charming to me than Bond.
Oh, absolutely.
He's so understated. He's just like, by the way, you're super beautiful. And she's just be like, oh, that's European dudes, man.
That's it, man. I wonder if it's the same if a Canadian goes there.
No.
Are they like, ooh, you're like the Canadian James Bond?
It very much depends on the Canadian.
Does perfect English turn you on, baby?
Yeah.
Huh? Why wouldn't it? I'm trying. I'm enunciating.
Yeah, or you could be, you could go to order poutine.
Yeah, I don't have some stupid accent.
Some of us
that I added. That doesn't even make sense. You're sitting in school.
Yeah.
You're in Boston school, and they're like, you're like, They're like, you're literally doing something with your mouth to make it not proper English.
We had this exact conversation once before.
No, we didn't.
But the idea isn't that they're learning it's just that's all they hear. It's because dialects come from New England. People came from a certain spot in Europe.
I know, and then when they speak English, it morphs into this accent.
It morphs into this accent, and then that's all they hear.
And then English and grammar mean nothing ever again.
It's even the way that people co-opt the English accent when they're in England for too long. Picture that, but then picture a lifetime in Boston, and then think how fucking retarded that's going to be.
But most of the time, see, those are the ones that piss me off.
Yeah.
The ones where I've been in this country for generations, and I still have this Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, you haven't lived
If you moved from somewhere, learned a new language, of course you're going to have an accent. That's cool because that's you speak 3 languages.
Well, and a lot of people do. And a lot of people choose not to. And I feel like he's a choose not to. He's like, I got to have my... He's like, I'm keeping my Boston roots. But there are some people...
he just slipped her a chip.
Jenna Fisher, a very good example of this. I was listening to their Office Ladies podcast. She's from Missouri. And Angela Kinsey's from Texas. So both people with very specific accents in the U.S. that have... They've taken that away because it helps them with acting. It's if you have a Southern accent, you can't be like, oh, I'm a girl from Maine. And you come in and you're like, oh, I'm fixing to blah, blah, blah. So some people deal with dialect coaches or whatever to just kind of get that base accent and get rid of the other thing. But every now and again, they can either just bring it back at any chosen time or it just slips in when they say certain words.
Right. I wonder if now in history there are less people with the accent, with the, I guess, what is it, a regional accent? Yes. I wonder if there's less of that now. Somebody call in right now and tell me.
I would say yes, but not for the reason that you think. I think it's because more people move around now than ever before.
Ah.
Right? So it's like especially in the States, you see that all the time. People go to school all over the place. So you're like, yeah, I'm from Maine, but I went to school in Texas. Oh, I'm from Mississippi, but I went to school in Seattle. And
Right.
like all over the place. So people just move about, and it's like, so it homogenizes.
They had a great exchange there while we were talking. When he walked over there, of course, it was way better. Yeah. When he walked over there, she was like, "Oh, I thought we had gotten rid of all the fakeness," and he's like, "No." He's like, "We got rid of one fake thing and made up another one that's better."
Yes.
And I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah. This is where you see him coming into his own as Bond too, where he's like, he's not just following an order and getting a thing; he's improvising on the fly.
Got to be good at poker, booze, and chicks. And what was the other one? Bacon?
Yeah, mostly bacon. Yes. It'd be the best if he like grabbed her by the hand and was running, going,
right by the tit. We only see him getting action in the movies. He probably goes long stretches with nothing.
Yeah.
He's probably bored. He's like a stripper or a porn star. Yeah. He probably comes home and he's like, "Honey, come on."
Well,
like,
and
no.
What's worse is you've seen now that both MI6 and M can directly see what he has on his laptop, meaning like whatever he's watching on his laptop, they can also see it.
And they like, also know where he is at any time as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, look. So I guess they'd really know if he's wanking because they just see his sensor going like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
He's here. And now he hasn't moved for the last 25 minutes. And now he's slowly, it looks like a wiping motion.
Yeah. Can you think of like James Bond cleaning up his own jizz? Is that like too lowbrow for James Bond?
I feel like the hotels he stays in has people for that.
Right.
Where he just like calls up the number and they're like, "Again, sir? Yes, please."
Well, they're going to be dead soon anyways. He knows this, so he probably just knocks them up. Their vagina takes care of all that, and they'll be dead soon.
That's why Tracy Morgan would make a great Bond. I'm going to get you pregnant. Nice.
Oh, yeah. See? Yeah. Everybody owes money to somebody.
See, everybody should have a version of their dressed down self, which was that guy in his like gorilla fatigues.
Hey, he's pretty good cleaned up, eh? Cleans up well.
And then he's got a beautiful suit on now.
You can tell that he's really playing the role when he's the gorilla guy.
Yes.
Oh well, he's pretty hardcore here too. Actually, to be honest with you, he's pulling some screw face shit here.
I hate that gorilla and gorilla are like pronounced the same. Like it should be like gorilla. Like
they knew what we meant. Like a guerrilla warrior.
Yes. No. I know everybody said that, but I was like, we should be.
I was gonna say something so bad.
I know, but like to me, but to me, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, especially when it's an animal. Like when it's an animal and then you're like, this person's a gorilla. And it's just like you picture like some like really dumb person in their mind just watching like an army of like it's like a Planet of the Apes.
Exactly. That's exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I like these guys. Like these guys are savage, but actually they're showing Buddy. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
Stairs.
That was
She's like, what? Stairs.
They're just the sweatiest people in the world. We made we'll talk about it again in a little bit, but like there's a lot of costume changes in this.
Not a word of protest.
No. I like that too. This is, I think, probably the most flawed of the Bond bad guys in terms of like think of like Jonathan Pryce, who I hated as a Bond villain, not because of him. I like Jonathan Pryce, the actor, but he's like, I'm a media mogul, and therefore I'm like, it's like now it makes me super evil. Whereas,
which one was that?
That was
is that the one where Denise Richards played a rocket scientist?
No, I'm trying to.
That one had some good action in it, though. I think that was The World's Not Enough. I'm gonna have to go through all of them again.
Yeah. But the
those are whatever. All of them.
I feel like we screwed up by doing these two first. I think we should do a flat out Bond marathon and just make that like a year.
When we do, we'll just do them straight through.
Maybe we'll do a revisited.
Oh Lord, we have to watch these two ones again.
Yeah, but this will be like a year from now.
Just throw these ones in.
Yeah, actually, that's
already done.
That's not a bad idea. Just re-release.
Fuck that.
You're right.
What this the is fuck?
Sorry to make this a staff meeting in the middle of the in the thing.
Minutes.
But you're 100% right. That's exactly what we should do.
And thankfully, this closet is right there to stuff all these dead bodies in.
Do you think there's no chance that that's exactly what all these hotels have? Is just a dead body sweeping closet?
all this is happening in between the break. So they've already been sitting at the table for 4 fucking hours.
Yeah. And they're so sweaty and gross.
Does James Bond ever have to take a crap or what? They never show people going to the bathroom. I don't mean show them going to the bathroom, but I mean James Bond's never like, I gotta go take a piss or whatever he would say.
But there was actually a really good thing. I can't remember who it was.
Just chokes him out.
Yeah, but there was a writer who was talking about that, and he had a very specific term for it. And he's like, I think it's called like polishing the leather or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Like
but
jumping the shark when it's called polishing the leather.
But the idea of it is that you're spending so much time like putting the everyday stuff in an effort to be realistic that you've made it boring.
Right.
So it's like the kind of thing like when people pick up the phone and they're like, get me the vice president. A person who'd be polishing the letter. I don't even think that that's the right term, but like it's what I'm thinking. And it'd be like picking up the phone and going, "Oh, hi, Sally." I'm choking to death here.
What the fuck, bro? He better not be sharing that bottle because he better put his bloody finger right in there.
Yeah. But anyways, that would be like, instead of him going, get me the vice president, it'd be like, oh, hi, Sally, how are you? Can you get me the vice president on the phone, please? Oh, how's whoever? Blah, blah, fine. Okay, yes, I'll hold. And then sitting there waiting.
Look at this scene. This is a good scene, man. He's like, whoa. He's like, get yourself together. You got to go play that fucking game.
Yeah. And it's cool to see.
Because he was kind of freaking.
Yeah,
like, he was kind of like.
Yeah, it was cool to see Bond not chill.
Yeah.
Because it's very rare. It happens sometimes, but it's very rare.
Yeah, but that's good. He's early in his career, and he's like, he's not so slick about it, right? He's got to look himself in the mirror like, Jesus Christ, you almost got murdered right there.
Mm-hmm. My throat's really dry. I'm gonna get some water while you yak.
I will.
You're in charge.
You go water. Hook me up.
Okay.
Hook me a water. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I can play poker, baby. I've had some mean strip poker games, baby. And I do not know. I just end up naked and right away, and then everybody has a good laugh, and then the game continues. Yo, when we get this big monetization money, let's get some James Bond suits going.
Yeah, no doubt.
3-breasted. Oh, yeah, this is her. She's in the shower with her clothes on. She's never seen anybody murdered before. With her dress on. No, you don't. Oh, listen to the music. James Bond. He's going to get in there with her. This ain't about fucking this time. He knows this is about... This is about...
That's important. Here. No, but the...
freshest toilet water you can muster.
No, but this scene, actually, originally she was supposed to be like in her bra and panties. And it was...
Way better idea.
Daniel Craig, who went up and said, why would she take the time to get undressed? If she's traumatized, in what world is she going to take the time? Well, I'm going to get partially undressed and then get in the... This is gross.
There's blood on my hands. He's like, I'll suck the blood. She's like, it's like there's blood on my vagina.
Wouldn't that be
it won't rub off.
Wouldn't that be a wonderful twist if they just all of a sudden made it canon that he was a vampire? They're just like, yeah, by the way, vampires are a thing. He spends
he's
a lot
just
of time
sucking toes and fingers, man.
He spends a lot of time in Eastern Europe. It tracks. Yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and turn this off because it was really stupid to get in the shower.
Now I have to change again.
He was like, "Did you even consider?"
Oh, they shut her down for the night, right? She never went back to the game. He did.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Bond! Look at this scene.
Then he comes back and
he's so bummed that they're not banging right now. He's like, I'm doing all this. We're not even banging.
He comes back and she's sloppy drunk because she's just like, she can't sleep and she's just...
Well, they got the good shit in there.
Yeah.
But it's also one of these rooms where they have like the, not the snifter, but you take your booze and pour it into this glass fucking thing and then pour it, and then so it looks cool.
Well, it's, I mean, for wine,
what do you call it?
It's a decanter for wine, yeah. I don't know if it's the same. Is it also a decanter for everything else? I don't know.
I would guess so.
Yeah. She's dead.
Can't be anything else. I'll just find myself out.
Wow.
Wow. Water's so good.
This is great.
Oh, yeah. Pulled this one on numerous occasions. Only when the trunk opened, it was a big shit.
I feel like this guy should play exactly this role in every movie that would require. Like, he should be in all the Mission Impossible movies.
See? You see?
He's right, though.
Just like all those bodies at that museum.
Exactly. They're very helpful.
That's right. Now kids can learn about how people with no skin play poker.
It's exactly the analogy I was
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's
Oh my God, was that guy alive?
Yeah, well, that's the guy who was standing outside,
yeah.
like they were questioning.
This is
him
your
outside.
car?
Oh, it's so
And the
good.
trunk just happens to open and there's 2 dead bodies back there.
Just like, let's talk about Mads Mikkelsen again for just a minute because he is the fucking bomb. He's also going to be in the next Indiana Jones movie as well.
Oh yeah, I'm really interested in this movie, man. I love James Bond.
Yeah.
I love Indy, and I think they should continue Indy.
Yeah.
Even without Harrison Ford. I know they said that they're not, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. But Indy, there's no reason Indy can't be Bond.
Exactly.
It can continue on and on.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is you've made it go so far in the past. I guess that's...
Do you think, like, back in the day when they switched from Sean Connery to, who was it? I don't know. Was Roger Moore the next major one?
Yeah.
Do you think that they were like, I'm not
Lazenby,
watching these movies anymore because it's not the one I like, Sean Connery? Or was everybody generally always just like, okay, cool, we're going to the next one?
Oh, I'm sure there were complaints. It's like the same thing with the whole...
It won't be the same without Sean Connery.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't think that that's new. I just think it's more pronounced because of the internet.
Those movies are so fucking boring.
I know.
The Sean Connery ones, oh my God.
I agree. See, that's the thing, because everybody's always like, oh, Sean Connery's the best Bond. I'm like, I don't think that he was a good Bond. I think that he is...
It just happened that he was the first.
Yeah, he's just very... He's just there, and he's just like, he's confident, and that's like all he brings with him to the table. And the fact that he was like a good-looking dude by the standards of the time.
I didn't really find him good looking.
No, but then...
At the time, yes.
He was like
when men were really
He
men.
was like Mr. Universe.
And they
shit
didn't
like that.
fucking like wax their bodies and...
Yeah. If you didn't have
work
back
out.
hair, you were a homosexual.
Exactly.
That was the-
Exactly. I just don't have any back hair. Like, I don't have any fucking back hair. Fuck.
I am nothing but
I barely have any.
hetero till I die.
Okay, so wait, we've got the... Well, no, you are hetero, and yes, so... yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll see. When put to the test, I'm willing to bet that'll flop pretty quick.
So we always see Mads Mikkelsen here.
Uh-huh.
And okay, so the blue ones, he's got the less of, so I think the blue ones are the most. Those are the heavy hitters, the blue ones over there to the right.
The blue tablet.
Yes.
Yeah. Those ones actually are tablets. You can play Pong on.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay, there you go. Boom. See, it's got little, and then the red ones moving down.
The red ones I know to be worth $500,000. So
Okay,
I
so
assume
then-
that the blue are worth $1 million.
Yeah.
If they are the ones that are
Yeah,
worth more.
they're 750,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be weird to have quarter. Like I would.
I know, I was thinking that too. It probably would be $1 million then because
Yeah, they probably have like I was gonna say they probably have. It might be 250 and 500,000. I don't know.
Oh fuck!
But he just went all in. How awesome would that be to be at a table like that? Like, and just go, I'm all in. I wanted years ago. I wanted to have a poker table like that so bad because we were having regular poker nights with like some friends and stuff like that. And I would love to have had a table like that where we all have our drinks down and we're all sitting around this nice felt table, sliding the cards across.
I remember we used to go to Aaron's house to play poker.
Oh man!
Remember that one time it was like a total huge tournament, and it was just like I just kind of want to drink and enjoy, like I didn't want to play poker anymore.
Yeah.
But I lost anyways. Regardless,
Yeah.
I did not lose because that was my attitude. I lost because I can't fucking play poker. Dude, he just beat him.
Yeah. So
He fucking suckered him in. He gave him a
pretend-
fake blind
Yeah. He
out
gave
of
him
his blind eye.
Yeah, he gave him the fake tell.
Tell.
Yes.
Blind. What's blind in?
Blind.
Golf?
No, blind is in poker, but that's what you pay up. So basically,
okay, got you. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, because you talked about it was a question you asked last time, which is a great question about what happened. Like if you get up from the table and you're just gone
Yeah.
while they're still playing poker, which happens multiple times.
Yes.
You continue to lose money because
But
whenever
it's
you're
just
the blind,
whatever the blind is.
yeah, whenever you're the blind, because there's a small blind and a big blind. So say for a really cheap ass game, it might be like a $5 blind, and then the big blind would be a $10 blind. And it rotates around the table. So then, like, eventually you're each of those things. So basically, if you leave the table, each time that comes around,
They automatically take the money out of your
losing that.
account.
Which, I mean...
And this was the other question I had too, which was like, what you just lost. Like, how can he buy back in?
Yes. So that is a generic rule. Like, you don't buy in, and at that point, you're still at a disadvantage. Because say it was a $1 million buy-in, Now you only have $1 million, but that other guy has like $7 or $8 million, so they can bully the shit out of you still. But you've got a chance to kind of like get back into the game essentially. But you've got to be good to do that. Buy-in people do not typically do well if you're playing with like good poker players.
Right. He knows he can beat him.
Yeah.
He just got thrown off a little bit.
It'd be the best if he's like, I got to win the money somehow, and he goes and he hits the slots, and he's just like pulling the one-arm band.
Quarter, the penny slots.
Yeah. Then he's then he's in Keno for a little while.
Or like it's the casino from Vegas Vacation.
Oh, God.
That's 2 out of 3. What number am I thinking of? 6? It was an 8. Damn.
Yeah. You know what would be the most fun? I want to go to Vegas with you and just suit up and just like walk around casinos. Never gamble, just walk around casinos. Walk up to a table, look like you're about to do something, and it's going to be really suave, and then just turn around and leave. And then go to Taco Bell in a tuxedo.
Wow, here we go. Oh, he's going after it.
This is a great moment because I didn't know that this was the case.
Super related. He's like, you're my brother? What? Yeah.
Felix Lighter. So Felix Lighter is a mainstay of all of the Bond movies. He's always been a liaison for the CIA. So he was in what's his face? Don. I can't remember his name. Don something, but he was in the Pierce Brosnan ones. There was another guy playing Felix Leiter in like the Royale ones and stuff like that. Yeah. So he's a constant character, like M, like Moneypenny, like Q, all those different things, just replaced with different people. But he was replaced by the ridiculously awesome Jeffrey Wright. Back in the day, he was in Presumed Innocent. This is funny because Judi Dench, she was in Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. He was in the Hamlet that starred Ethan Hawke.
Oh.
What else was he in? He was in Shaft, Ali, Syriana, W. He played Colin Powell.
I think you're right because it's $5 million to buy in.
Yeah.
And he's got 5 blue chips. So each one of those is a mil.
Yeah, there you go. But like, look at the advantage because like he's got what, like 8?
Oh,
He's got 8 of those, and then all of everything else too.
He's good. He'll beat him.
Oh, he got busted, so he actually did do the tell that time, and then he just folds because he's like, fuck. But
what was it?
Oh, his tell is the touching of the temple. And so that's what he faked to beat him this time. But this time he did it, and then he was like, real. Oh, shit. And then realized he did it. I always like the hidden eye. I don't know why.
No,
it's maybe because you don't know that she's being beaten. But she doesn't have the third dimension.
It's a style, but yeah. Well, it is a style, but it's to cover up the bruise.
Other things that Jeffrey Wright's been in, Source Code, Ides of March, the Hunger Games movies, Westworld. He is the Watcher in What If.
Oh, no way!
Which is fucking fantastic, by the way.
I'm gonna watch that. I'll be done it this week.
There's some episodes. There are some episodes that are kind of like a downer, but it's just the idea. What? It's just the idea. What if the teeniest, tiniest thing changed?
So what? Some of them are downers. Not everything's got to be a fucking feel good fucking winner.
I was saying like that's interesting to me. Is I like that.
He knows already.
Yeah.
See, I wonder if this was in the original script, or somebody's like, you know what? It's been too long.
Yeah.
Of poker. We
absolutely.
need something to jazz it up a bit. So now he's been poisoned.
Yeah, I can't speak to what the original. See, you said he doesn't go to the bathroom. He's going to the bathroom right now. He's going to the bathroom.
I love how angry she is at him for losing. It's like, lady, he just consoled you in the shower after saving your life.
Yeah.
And now you're going to look at him like that.
That's a very good point. I never even considered that. That is a very good point.
Yeah. You lost the money that isn't even yours anyways.
I feel like a place like that, everybody's constantly trying to make themselves puke. This also
this is literally me out of every bar I've ever come out of. I'm wearing somebody's stolen suit. I just got hit by 5 cars.
This was me going into everything, having an anxiety attack.
Like a Tesla door.
Yeah. There's a new one that's like that too. It's like it's got like this little like LED. I got to see if I can find it. It's the coolest car I've ever seen in my life. It's I don't even remember who made it, but like the front seat actually turns the other way, so you could be sitting facing backwards to the
cool.
And then the car has like the steering wheel looks like a pilot's wheel.
It's 007.
I know 007.
I am ordering a electric bicycle.
Oh, are you?
I have found one. I'm like, this is it.
Nice.
It's called a rad bike.
No, those are BMX bikes from the 80s.
I have seen the bikes rad, man. We saw them on the boat. They came over, and some of them were in a box.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, rad bikes, cool. But then the next day, there was like 8 of them assembled. And I started looking into them. They're like super cool.
Nice.
They're like way cheaper and way better than the other ones that I've seen.
Oh, really?
Like way sturdier. Awesome. This is going to be my back to riding the bike main mode of travel.
Sweet. I like. I've been seeing a lot of people on those electric scooters. Like
those are neat as fuck
like
too.
Just like it looks like a Razor scooter that you're standing on, and, and they go fast.
Yes, they
man.
do.
I saw somebody go like blowing past me, and I'm like, I feel so unsteady standing on something like that.
Oh my god!
I
That's what I don't dig about that either. It's such a little. I'm sure the steering is shit too. Like, oh my god! Like you're going to be going 30 on this thing, like.
I really like this scene because it's such a like team effort scene. Like he's got doctors tell him what to do and shit. Like we've seen him in danger before.
Oh bugger.
Yeah. Oh. He's out. He did.
Oh fuck! The end. Credits roll.
Yeah. He's like, why do they now have a robot?
And now she saves him.
This is great.
She's like, should I do this?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know where that thing goes? Like, what do you even know what he's doing here, for Christ's sakes?
Well, she works for the same company, so I mean, there's a chance that such a thing might come up. I love this line. You okay?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, that's so stressful, man. I love it so much.
We need another suit change.
See, and it's another thing I love because he still has all of the James Bondness of it, but with vulnerabilities.
Yes, I love that he said thank you to them too. That doesn't seem like a James Bond.
Yeah,
like he'd just say something cool and then walk out. This one, he was like, "Thank you." You just literally just saved my fucking life.
Yeah, I think we'll have to have a drink later or something like that. And then the doctor's like, "No, you should not have a drink. You were just poisoned." I think the best thing in the world would be he sits down, he orders it again.
The same drink is sitting there.
Oh yeah, he just picks it. He just sits down. He's like, "Man, this is hell." Oh, son of a.
I'll be back.
I know what to do this time. It won't take nearly as long.
Just bring that thing to the bar. He should just come to the bar, slap it on the table.
What's your favorite kind of tuxedo? Like you're gonna go and like stun in a tuxedo?
Dude, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. They'd have to Pretty Woman my ass, man, because I don't fucking know. I always like the 3-piece suit with the thing, but who knows what I would look better in. That's why I need to have like, like a woman, and a gay man, that's into fashion. He doesn't just can't be some gay guy.
Okay, I can't be some gay slob.
Into fashion, and they will not lie to me. And I can't know them.
And you can't, yes. That was actually a thing.
And then they'll be like, that's what looks good on you.
And that was actually something I was kind of insistent on the first time I ever bought a suit for myself, just as a grown-up. And I was at the place, and I sought out a woman who was like one of the salespeople. And I know, they're all salespeople. They all want to make the whatever. But I'm like, I will buy the suit that looks good on me. Like, I'm not leaving here without you having not made a sale. So let's find a suit that looks good on me, and I need you to be honest. And I put on a suit that was cheap, and then I put it on, and she was like, that one looks good. And then I put on one that was more expensive, and she's like, that does not look good on you. And right then I knew, I'm like, okay, she's not looking for the higher dollar. Right. And I went there, and I was like,
that's a good thing to notice while doing it.
Yeah. I don't trust anybody is the problem when it comes to stuff like that, because it's like I go to a tire place.
She proved herself pretty cool.
Yeah. And she was, and
did you choose the third, fourth one, or which one did you choose?
I think I
went back to the original one.
No, I tried on 3 or 4, and I think I went back to the third one.
Fuck, I hate trying clothes on.
I don't mind, but it's like I don't like it like when I feel like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy a suit. Like it's just like I'm just gonna go do this. It's like if I know I'm going to be committing time.
I dig this white on white suspender thing.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
To me, it just looks like a goddamn dress shirt. I don't fucking know.
Something I haven't seen in a long time, and maybe it's out now. They used to have these collars instead of a bow tie that like came down in like a point that I really liked, and I was like, that's what I'd like to wear instead, because it looks different. It just makes you stand out just a little bit from like the bow tie guy, right? But I had a tuxedo. Well, I rented a tuxedo that was just wasn't a bow tie. It was just a regular ass, regular tie. Oh,
he's tired of standing at the table. Holy Christ!
Yeah, he's got ass sores on ass sores right now.
Ass sores on bed sores.
I still want one of these people. I really want, like, it would be like the Asian woman, the old Asian woman who was there earlier. I want her to have like an upside down, like clear visor on and stuff like that. And
the one
like,
guy with like
cigar.
the bandana.
Yeah. That to me, like, by the way, like if you want to treat poker like a sport, which they do because they put it on like ESPN and all that shit, I feel like there should be rules about dress and you should not be allowed to cover your face.
I agree.
Or, because a lot of people put in headphones. You shouldn't be allowed to do that either. You need to be able to react to the table. More than half of the game is you playing the other people, not you playing.
Well, maybe that's part of their thing. They hide their face and then that.
But that's what I'm saying is you're not then playing the other people because you're not giving them an opportunity. You're not being a good enough poker player to say, I can hide that I have good cards or whatever. It's like, I'm going to hide, like, I've got these, like, blue, like, super, like, old lady blind people glasses, and then,
well, but then everybody can do that. That would be your choice then.
But that's the thing. I just think that that's, like...
If you want to wear all the crazy shit, go ahead, but if I don't, then I don't.
Yeah. I like to... to me... It's almost like the equivalent, just because it's not a physical game, obviously, but it would be the equivalent of going to a boxing match and one guy decides he's going to wear a helmet. I was like, no, fuck that. Like, do it the way it's meant to be done. Be a purist.
He got you, bro.
Crushed him. So now what look at that. So we talked about the price list. He just gave him a $500,000 tip.
Wow. Imagine that you come home, you see your old lady, he's like, come on, it was all right, it was a slow night. I know it was only tipped $500,000.
Hey, does this scene spark anything in you?
What about her?
This is when our power went out last time.
Oh!
So we're about to see the rest of this
going
movie for
blind.
the first time in a while.
I guess you'd be hungry. Holy fuck.
I feel like he just made
Now he won, so she's not mad.
There's nobody. What time do you think it is at night? I was just going to say, like, why is their dining room open? And if it is open, why is there nobody else there?
He just won 100 and something million. I'm sure he could have them open it.
That seems very fair.
Yes.
You've been a very clear voice of reason to me in the last little while. And that is 100% what it is.
Like when I was like, where are you? And I came in and you were hovering above your family with a knife and I was like, don't do it. Like that type of advice?
No, I could have taken or leave in that. Vesper.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a great name.
See, this is what you got to eat too. This I'd be like, I'm James.
Actually,
he's faking it.
The YouTuber Mr. Beast made a video that I found very funny. It was just like a TikTok or something like that. He goes to like some super fancy schmancy restaurant. And he's looking at the thing. He's like, "Can I get chicken fingers?" And they're like, "No, they don't have chicken fingers." And then it just goes to like, it's like an article. It's like Mr. Beast buys restaurant, and then it's like him shaking hand with the guy, and then he opens up the menu and it's just chicken fingers and it says $420. And then it's just him and he's just pouring ketchup on chicken fingers.
I love chicken fingers.
Well, that guy, man, like, I think the biggest mistake in both of our lives was looking at, and I'm going to speak more for myself here because we were apart for a good chunk of time, is looking at things like streaming and being a YouTuber and stuff and going like, people are getting famous off this. Like, this is bullshit. This is stupid. And then seeing a guy like Mr. Beast, who's literally like, he spends like $100,000 per video.
Dear God.
Just because he's going to make it back and then some on that video. Because like 80 million people are going to watch it. And he just keeps happening and keeps happening. And so he literally did one where it was like he had a $100,000 diamond and his buddies all had to like complete like an entrapment style, like get past the lasers. And
who's this guy, Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast. And the last man standing got to give a $100,000 diamond to his like sister or mother.
Oh.
And like a legit one. And then he played a game of hide and seek with an FBI agent and gave him $50,000 if he could find him.
Did you find him?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty easy too, actually.
Yeah, he was like
Well, how
behind
did
the
he
curtain.
originally make all this money?
Well, he just making popular videos. He was a gamer he made like Minecraft videos and stuff like that.
So wait a second. So this game was happening because that dude was going to win all this money and they were going to fund terrorism with it or some
Correct.
shit.
Yes. And so the goal of him going was to stop him from getting the money because then he'd have to answer to those guys.
The backers.
But they knew that he wouldn't do that and he would probably flip. So if
Like a car in a minute?
No, well, yes. But but they knew he would like flip on the on like the militia guys.
Right.
So they're like, okay, if we put him in like a no-win scenario, this is terrifying.
Shit.
So this is actually the most flips ever for a car.
Really?
Yeah, in a movie, and it's a lot. I think maybe it has been beaten by Talladega Nights, which hilariously made it.
Yeah, but that wasn't a real.
No, but it was very funny still.
Holy fuck.
A whole commercial break went by. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to find the car barrel.
Who's this running?
Yeah, it broke the record for most barrel rolls assisted by a cannon. So originally what happened is that there was a cannon inside the car that fired to make it continuously roll. So that's pretty cool. They had to take a bunch of shit out of the car to make him do it though.
I would guess so.
Ooh, they're cutting out the thing.
Oh.
It's very interesting that they know where it
He's
is.
still alive. Of course I do.
Also very Hunger Games.
It's like, oh, that's how I knew my tail. This thing.
Yes.
I will insert this into my eyeball.
Couple of small things actually. This it's the first Daniel Craig. Nice. Yeah.
Which one was Mathis?
That was the Italian guy.
Ah, son of a bitch.
But so Daniel Craig, he was the first James Bond to be now nominated for a BAFTA award for doing a Bond movie. So that was pretty badass. And that actual that car roll sequence, they flipped 3 Aston Martin DB9 cars. Each one of them were $300,000.
Nice.
So almost $1 million on that shot.
Just for that flipping.
Just for that one shot. But it was effective.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This is the grossest scene in the world.
I forgot about this.
I
totally forgot about this.
I would rather the Pierce Brosnan scorpion torture from Die Another Day any day. This is
what a good idea.
Horrific. Just I honestly think he's like, I did all this work on my body and we've only seen me shirtless twice.
Yeah, well, this is the real scene.
Let's get me naked.
Yeah, he wrote this into the script himself.
Yeah. I legitimately thought that they were just gonna make that a toilet for him, he was gonna be locked in here forever.
Right.
So you're just gonna poop in a bucket, right?
I mean, they would care that much if you're gonna leave him here forever. Just let him shit.
Fair
and the shit through the holes.
Yeah.
Ooh, he doesn't look very confident right here. Let me tell you.
Also, another little thing. This is the only Bond movie where it rains.
Really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Driving in the rain. Man.
Look at that.
I wish I looked that decent for one
Just be like
day.
hell. Ooh. That's what I look like when I'm taking a crap.
Yeah. This is one of the few times, too, where one of these guys takes it upon themselves to actually do
the dirty work.
Yeah. That thing. I would tell him whatever he wanted to know the second that draped over me.
Oh, Lord.
I wonder if they were ever immature enough to just dangle it on his face like a dick.
Right.
Oh,
fuck.
Even just this little light one. And because you could see the weight of it.
Ooh. Right there, I'm telling you, I know my body. I would be so nervous, it would be gone.
Yeah.
It would be Bruce Lee up inside my body, and I would be like, yeah,
I'd poke it out my mouth and go, yeah.
Oh. But even anything under there is going to be like, oh. Mm-hmm. How many smacks to the junk do you think you can take with one of these before your shit just gives out?
That's what I was, because that's what he was just talking about too, is that it's gonna wreck your shit, and I'm very, ugh. That is a good question. He's so good.
What a sore loser.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not being a sore loser. He needs the money. He will die if he doesn't get the money.
Well, so what? You played a game. That's a sore loser to me.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That double whip. This was good too. He's like getting into it. Yes. Like what?
Woo!
What damage is being done? You know what?
Oh God!
What was the old? It was the old foot like NFL Blitz or whatever when you get tackled and you like watch a bone break or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. It's like I want that for his testicles in this scene. Like it zooms in and it's just like a little thought bubble kind of thing, and then you just watch an egg
Ellipsis.
crack.
Ellipsis.
Yeah. Yeah. Down there. This is so good. He's like, just instantly, like you could see the respect in his face. No, to the left, Oh, to the right. But like, if for no other reason, like even if he killed him here, he'd be like, man, I respect that dude. I'm all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been picking my handcuffs the entire time, buddy.
Yeah. And that's when he tricks him to thinking he already killed him and that this is the afterlife. That's true.
Oh, he's so right.
That's true. That's true.
And
Thanks
I
so
know
much.
that your balls are wrecked.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that's the one that's going to get him.
The fear, though, eh? It's not even worried about the pain. He's just got the instant. Nice. So the password, ellipsis isn't the password. Ellipsis was the password to get past that
No, watch,
door.
it is. This is a double fake. It's ellipsis 2.
Yes. Ellipsis 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Imagine it was something real like funny. He's like James Bond cool guy 6969.
Did you just say what it was?
No. See?
It's my job, dude. Seriously, like I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. And, oh, it's so good. Nice. He's like, now he's going to take a golf club to him.
His balls.
Uh-oh. See, this was a very weird scene. Uh-oh. This is... Uh-oh. So this is Mr. White. Bam.
Is that Refines?
No. So that's Jesper Christensen, who we saw earlier, who wasn't really talking much about anything.
Thank God that guy broke in.
He was in Melancholia and Nymphomaniac. We also see him in Quantum of Solace and in Spectre.
Ah,
He's Mr. White. He's the guy who dies in Spectre, who's the father of
right.
the girl. But he just ages so horribly between now and then. This gives me the vibes of the end of Return of the King. It's like I'm waiting for him to go up and like freaking Sean Astin there. Man, wake up, Mr. Frodo.
Why did they let him live?
Oh,
He's got no beef with him?
They
Or
have no
what?
concern about, yeah.
I'm sure they must know that he's a British agent by now, right? Like, why is this dude torturing him?
Yeah.
Oh, he saved him.
Yeah. No. Not mad. See, so this was what was interesting too, is because he gets to, dude got to sow like distrust.
Because he's a double agent. So he was doing what he had to do.
But he's actually not. Yeah, like he wasn't.
Oh, Buddy was just saying
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Your friend Mathis is my friend.
Yeah.
Ah, here you go.
Nice. Oh, he's in like this is like severe. That wheelchair looks super old though. Like I'm sure,
Yes.
like it looks like the kind of wheelchair you would have like in an insane asylum in like 1920s, where you masturbated once and then they committed you by putting you on like fucking method, like 100 pounds of methadone or something.
Oh, he doesn't trust Mathis now. And our main bad guy has just been murdered.
I know.
And the movie's not done yet.
Well, this is actually, I think, the most brilliant thing about this movie. As much as I love Lashif, you now know that a much bigger thing is
he's just working,
yeah, he was just a pawn.
Oh fuck. Oh.
Boom. See, this is what I was thinking about with the whole prisoner vibes. Like, if you found all the other Bonds, this is the kind of place you would find them. They're all retired and
playing like backgammon and
mostly backgammon. A lot of baccarat. Because,
yeah,
well,
a lot of Burt Baccarat on the radio.
In the original.
So what the hell just happened there?
So basically, he's of the opinion, because of what he heard, that Mathis was a bad guy. They're in an MI6
place
location. Like, this is all spies. It would have been the best if you saw like Sean Bean somewhere.
Has it been years?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's quite possible that it has been years. Oh. Hells yeah.
Ooh.
I imagine.
Ooh, even the ass.
Imagine he had a moment where like he starts to get aroused, but there's so much damage down there, he just starts screaming. Like every time that's his new character trait is every time he gets an erection, he screams.
Oh, they're in love.
I'm still gonna do it. Those are nice earrings.
Oh, they all are.
Like, it's just amazing how much movie is actually left. I love this guy so much. He reminds me of David Williams from Little Britain, but it's not him.
Oh, so I guess he wasn't supposed to drink that beverage.
Mm-hmm. I love it. He has these little
don't do it.
reactions.
This whole thing is fake. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Bond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a lie.
Ooh.
That's a lie. He's lying.
I love that this is a movie you've seen a number of times, and you're like, don't trust anybody.
Oh my God,
despite
don't do it. Don't do it. I
love it very much. So the movie, it cost roughly $150 million to make, made $616 million worldwide. It's, if you account for like what's it called, the inflation and stuff like that, I think it's the fourth highest grossing of the movies. Because some of the early ones, like, they made a ton of money back in the day, and now that money's worth $1 jillion. But it debuted number 2, actually. Happy Feet was number 1.
Ooh.
So this didn't even make it to number 1.
It didn't?
No. Borat and Santa Claus 3, Stranger Than Fiction, Flushed Away, Saw 3, Babel, and The Departed were all out at the same time. It stayed number 2 for a couple of weeks, and then Apocalypto came out, and The Holiday, and then that knocked it down to number 4. It only beat Blood Diamond of the new movies that came out, but it never reached number 1, and it never was it was a massive worldwide hit. It just
wasn't number 1. Mm-hmm. It's probably number 2 for like 18 weeks.
That's what I was gonna say. It outlasted everything. While like Happy Feet was like number 1, and then probably like disappeared.
Yeah, it's getting real. It's getting real here, man.
That was actually a thing too, because I was like, because they're essentially reestablishing the character. I'm like, it's part of his character that he doesn't have a penis anymore.
Hey, bang all those girls.
It's gonna really complicate things.
The lights were out. They have no idea.
And
That's
then,
MI6. They probably give him a prosthetic penis.
I was just gonna say that's how you meet Q. Is the first thing he gives them?
Domino, you broke your penis again. Domino, that's not your penis. That's my lunch.
That would be amazing. John Cleese still in the movies, just yelling at him.
Well, John Cleese is now just in charge of his penis.
Yes.
Everybody else does the guns and the cars and
exactly. He's like, yeah. You find out that he like sexually harassed M, and that's why like
James
he's
Bond's in love and his penis works.
Yeah. Well, it did up until he fell off the bed.
Yes, he landed right on his boner.
That'd be the best. He lands. He's like, ah, and you just see blood squirting up like a Kill Bill movie.
Oh, yeah,
Now-
the movie just keeps going. You know something's going to happen.
Now here's the
They're not just
question.
going to live happily ever after.
Yeah, exactly. It just like fades.
It hasn't
just
been an
fades
action
to
scene
black.
in like forever.
Oh. Now here's the thing. What does he do for a living if he quits MI6?
He must have a pretty good salary, man. I mean, fine,
No, but I'm saying if he quit, like I doubt he could retire on what he's made because like his lavish lifestyle is him living off of like government
off of
credit
there.
cards.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a secret funds going somewhere. He's James Bond. He can just talk his way to the hotel.
Well, I guess too. He's probably I'm willing.
He'll
to bet, like,
grift. He'll grift his way.
he's probably got some Skyfall level like
Ooh,
funds from like his.
is that the
orphan,
first time
like-
we've ever seen him tell a woman he loved her?
No, because George Lazenby married a woman and.
Oh, that's right. And then they kill her.
Yeah. And I think that's something they really liked. I found like, we said what we said about the Sean Connery ones, but the George Lazenby one, I remember watching that and like 40 minutes in, I'm like, nothing has happened. Like I have the whole DVD box set that went all
Right.
the way up to the whatever one was currently out at the time, which is such a fucking.
Oh my God! Like he's gonna leave the fucking.
The only way to do box set for something like this, because it's going to go on forever, is per actor.
Yes.
So it's like,
Absolutely,
okay,
yes.
so you can buy the Sean Connery box set, the Roger Moore box set, and it'll be like one solid picture
Yep,
of him
yep.
across them all, and then the Roger Moore, and then like it's
No,
harder
I
with
want to get
Lazenby and
to.
Dalton.
I
But
want to get to where they do them all super cheap, and all their faces are on the same box, and
Yes.
they're all like it's like 4 movies on one disc.
yes,
That's how I like it.
oh god,
Like with the Puppet Masters or the.
yeah, you know you're getting a real good compressed version of the
Exactly.
movie. Like it's like these things are essentially like gifts,
And you have to
that are
pick,
playing.
yeah, and then you have to pick the movie in the beginning. Which one do I want to watch here?
and
Look
you
at how
can
much
tell
fun they're having in their
yeah,
new life.
the menu is pressed in iMovie.
Did he like? We never saw him quit or anything. Did he?
He
Probably
just
lied.
he literally just typed in, "I tender my resignation," like into that laptop, which I'm sure she saw right away because they're constantly monitoring his laptop.
Yes. They're like, he'll be back. Just let him have a little time off.
I wonder why. Like, do they get into like watching a lot of porn together? Oh yeah, see that guy straight
Oh
out of
wow,
Indiana
that's
Jones.
yeah.
Look at the camera she had too, right? It's like not. We're in such a weird place now. Like those cameras, they still sell those like little like point and shoot cameras, and I'm like, I don't understand who uses those digital cameras because your phone is a better digital camera than that one.
Well, now.
Or yes, no, but I'm talking about now. And it's like, because you go to Best Buy and they still sell those ones. And I'm like, who's buying this one when your phone can take a better photo and then you just friggin' email it or print directly from your phone or whatever you want? Or you get, if you're really serious about photography, then you get into like a real like DSLR or mirrorless camera or something like that, right? So I don't really know where that fits into people. The people who just want like, it's like, I want this to be a camera and nothing else. I don't want it to ever ring. I guess there's some people who are just kind of anti that kind of phone technology. Who that must be like the only people. I'm ranting on something that doesn't even matter now. It doesn't.
So he's saying all these lovey-dove things and all this. He's
know.
all worried if she's gotten over her old man yet.
Yeah. Go.
He's going back to be naked.
That. Can you like think for a minute about how good those sheets probably?
You have to be naked.
Oh, there's no way. Like those sheets probably feel like spider silk, like just like up and over.
Spider silk.
That's how silk is made.
You have to be.
Yeah.
They don't even care if you shit the bed. Did you see that room? It was like fucking unreal. She even said, I'm going to go take some money out or whatever. And he's like, I got plenty. She's like, I want to pay some too. So he must have had a good, pardon me, severance package.
Yeah. But he just quit. So how did that happen?
I told you, he's got Swiss bank accounts. They put it away.
Yeah. He probably gets some kind of like spoils of war kind of thing where it's like the, you get to keep like this kind of like collateral, like money that doesn't really have anything to do with
Right.
this.
So I know something happens here. I cannot remember what the fuck.
You don't. Oh, see, this is really interesting because I remember all this because you keep saying don't trust this guy. I'm like, no, I know exactly what's happening.
Don't trust her. She's the one you don't trust the most. Because why do they want? We'll find out. Uh-oh.
Boom.
Fucking told ya.
Yeah. Because she was the bad guy.
I knew because you could see when he wanted to say the coach, he's looking at him, right? Mm-hmm. So he got played.
No. What happened was she has the routing number for the bank. So she entered in the routing number, but what she entered in was the routing number for somebody else.
Ah.
Right. And then so he had the password that would actually authorize the money
would give the money out.
So.
Oh, fuck.
But at the same time, she still would have tricked him even if he entered it himself because she'd already entered in the bank number.
Oh, shit.
There's a huge problem.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
I love like old Italy and stuff like that.
That looks
Look
super
how
cool,
fucking pretty this is.
What's where they film here? And all these cool locations.
Yeah. Is you could probably see them filming a Dan Brown movie on the other side. There's like, oh, there's Tom Hanks running around looking at symbols.
He passes him.
Yeah. See, everything needs to be so old world. That's why, like...
Those movies are so fucking boring.
Which?
Those fucking Da Vinci whatever movies.
Oh.
Like, oh, God.
There were parts of that I liked.
Blech.
It's like, as a whole, like, I don't want to be explained to. Just get to the next cool puzzle or, like, whatever, right? Like, there's some moments, like, with him and Ian McKellen. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then, like, Paul Bettany whipping himself.
That was cool.
Being a creepy-ass dude. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Oh, he's trying to get away, Bond. So how long have they been in their love nest here for? Like,
I would say at least
6 months.
I would say he was probably in the hospital for several months, and they've probably been here for a couple of weeks, knowing that like they were going to have to do all this stuff. They were like there was stuff to do, and he's like, "Oh, we'll make a vacation of it," kind of thing.
oh,
He's been wronged.
he is pissed.
Yeah, I liked this.
She got you, Bond.
Yeah,
This is why he'll never fall in love again.
exactly.
He let his heart out, and look what she did.
We got to bring back Grace Jones.
Oh my God.
Bring back Mayday in another movie.
Fucking right.
Actually, you know who would be a really good if you wanted to just recast Mayday?
Lizzo.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Now I'm forgetting her name. She's Okoye in Black Panther. And she's Michonne in Walking Dead. And
You know who should be a Bond girl?
What?
I do not know her name. I think she's a model, but she's like the blackest woman you've ever seen in your life.
Oh.
And I can't, but she's literally like, that's like her thing.
Oh, I do know who you're talking
And
about. She's a beautiful woman.
she's absolutely gorgeous, but she's got that like total exotic like.
Yes. Yeah, because
I can't think of her name, but
it's
dear Jesus, is she
it's
ever
a skin
hot.
tone that doesn't exist.
Yes, it's like
yeah. I would love to see Lupita Nyong'o, who, in my opinion, is the most beautiful woman on the planet. To me, no, but like every time I see her, I'm just like, you're a goddess. But yeah, it's like to me, like I would love to see her in something like this. That would be genius.
But I don't know if she can act or anything, right? She might be fucking terrible.
Your girl. I have no idea. I was gonna say Lupita
Oh,
Nyong'o.
she can act.
Yeah, I was gonna,
yeah.
she's done quite well. See, this is cool too. This is something that they've been that like I didn't really think about, like in Venice, right? They're literally keeping buildings afloat.
This really fucked me over when I first saw the movie too. I was like, what the hell is going on with this? Like, but yeah, it's a thing.
Yep.
The whole fucking place is sinking.
See, it's funny, and then like people make fun of people who live in like New Orleans and that places that are like that flood all the time and get like hurricanes and all that stuff. And I'm like, friggin', these people have been living 1,000 years in a sunken city.
Yeah, it stinks apparently now too. Like when you go to a lot of places, the lobby's like in water.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
This movie didn't have the most action of the Bonds,
No.
but it has it makes up for in like emotional heft.
It does. Well, it's got that. I think it has the heaviest story for
Yes.
sure. But also, I feel that there's like they put so much work into their set piece action scenes that it doesn't matter. Like it's like you can take a movie that had like 35 action scenes, but it's like it was just we're at
Right,
a ski place
exactly.
and then we all got into a gunfight. Then we were at this place and we all got into a gunfight. No, these guys like sunk a city. For one scene,
Or sunk a building,
they
sunk a whole fucking block. It looks like.
Yeah, like, and it's just like what they put into their scenes is everything.
That's why it cost so much. The new one was like 250 mil.
Yeah,
So it was 240 something million.
because I would rather see like a scene of this scale than
Agreed.
use the same amount of money
Than a
to make a
million,
bunch of little
right.
scenes.
Well, I know it depends.
Yeah.
But you know what? I agree with you. Yes. Like a nice big old set friggin' scene.
Yeah. I'm going back. This one's I was mad at it earlier because of unforeseen circumstances, but this one's back to my favorite.
Yeah, it's funny you say because I never knew what the hell when I first watched this. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, come on. Like the building's being held up, but it really is.
Yes.
They really are.
Yeah. And there's some of them sit on pillars as well, but I mean, like the pillars, you can only do so much to maintain them, right?
Oh my lord!
Whereas-
Just let them sink. Jesus Christ, is way too much effort.
Yeah.
Oh
Man.
shit, she's trapped in the elevator, and he still loves her.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Look at that.
I'd like to think they just actually sunk a building in Venice, and everybody was like watching. Like you would panic so hard if you didn't know they were shooting a movie and you saw
They don't
that.
tell ya.
You're like, I'm gonna check out of my hotel today if that's
Ooh.
okay. We're gonna go to Rome where it doesn't sink. There's a beautiful photo somebody took of because Mount Etna erupted, and it was like pitch black outside. So the lava running down Mount Etna, it actually looked like a phoenix in the sky.
Cool.
It was gorgeous.
Oh, shooting nails.
I didn't know that a nail gun was an automatic rifle.
Oh yeah.
It was like that shot like 100 a minute.
Sure it does. Ooh.
I just don't see where the point where they like you couldn't even move across to nail that properly. Like was the eye patch necessary? That was good.
In the other eye. Oh, right in that one.
Okay. I think now I just solved the eye patch problem. It was a lot easier for them to do that effect if he had an eye patch on. Although they could have just did it in his forehead.
Oh shit, Bond.
Yeah.
You fucking liar.
Oh, you will be sorry. Imagine he's like, okay, it's all right. I have the key.
Oh, she just locked it.
Yeah. Okay. No, but if she was like, it's okay, I've got the key. And then he's like, good, give it to me. I'll unlock it. She gets the keys like, fuck you. You screwed me over. And then just...
She did just lock herself
Yeah.
into that elevator, didn't she?
yeah. And then
She probably just did it because they'll never end. They'll keep finding them.
and then Rick James going cold-blooded. Ooh, this water's beautiful.
Oh, Bond.
Yeah. This is an interesting scene, too, because, like, this elevator...
She's like, he still loves me.
Like, she's being stubborn about drowning.
Suck his finger.
If your intention was to die, would you just not, intentionally breathe in right away?
Oh, wow.
I think the grossest drowning scene I ever saw was the one...
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, was the
Oh,
one...
wow. You can see her, like, for straight up, like...
Yeah. But do you remember the one in Poseidon? Like the remake of Poseidon
Yes.
Adventure? Where he's swimming and he almost makes it and then he starts going, oh. And I'm like, it was so realistic and gross. And
I
was
don't know
just
how
like,
realistic it would be, but I guess, it
no,
looks...
but... Well, no, but
and now he gets... Oh, no, he still can't reach her.
Well, because he was holding his breath, and then he lets it in, and then once that happens, he can't stop himself anymore. And it was like, from that standpoint, it's like usually they just like somebody goes in the water, and then they go see them, and then you just see them floating like this.
Why did she kill herself?
Yeah,
Because she's felt so bad about ripping off James Bond,
yeah,
about breaking his heart.
yeah.
Maybe she knew that they would just find her and kill her anyways,
Essentially,
right? Like, you'll just always be running and...
Well, and they kind of explain a little bit of that. This must be very awkward because you're gonna give her CPR and stuff like that, and he's just pumping on a boob.
We should do something like that in like acting class.
Yeah.
We had to put our hand like right here on the person and like feel their breathing or whatever. And I was like, this is the dirtiest like thing ever.
Yeah. Actually, I watched Bridesmaids was on last night. And I was watching it, and there's that one scene where John Hamm's just like massaging her boob for a really long time, and it was like uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God. Because he's just sitting there and he's just grabbing it and mushing it like in a horrible way, and I was just like, "This is like what a weird scene that must be."
In Bridesmaids,
like, yeah, he's like, "What a weird scene that must be." The day they get on set, and he's like, "Well, here's the day you're gonna." Really
the chicks wrote it. It was.
Oh no, I'm not even saying.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
just
saying,
in general, you'd be like, "Well, this is the tit grabbing scene."
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like offensive. I'm saying
right.
It's from
Just to be
the
on set, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
it would be like.
He's watching.
Yeah, it would be like every scene in Nymphomaniac.
He probably works for Blofeld.
Yeah, but it would be like every scene in Nymphomaniac. No, he literally does work for Blofeld, except Blofeld couldn't exist in this version because they didn't have the rights to Spectre. There you go. A French Algerian. There you go. So the Quantum is that one, and that's where we learned. So Quantum still has one of my favorite Bond scenes too, which is at that opera. I love that scene very much, but the rest of the movie is such a bummer.
Yeah, we could have told you this a long time ago, but we didn't. Sorry, Bond.
Yeah. Everybody knows he's him. It's very
he tells everyone.
he even when he's not supposed to, he does.
Could have been a double blind. You're right, bud.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And you learned your lesson.
Yeah. And like you can hear like just the coldness. I felt like that was like a stretch. Like there was no reason. If anything, I wouldn't have called her the bitch because there's too much emotion behind that. I would like him being cold. Like he should have said like the target is dead or the like something like that, right? Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
She gave up the money to save him.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't really win.
He didn't.
No, he's alive.
Yeah.
That's the win.
Yeah. And
Is that what the story they continue in Quantum of Solace like this?
Well, literally, Quantum of Solace continues almost from where this one ends exactly.
I'm gonna give Quantum of Solace another watch.
Yeah. All right, let's go. That would be another fun 24.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the bitch is dead. That's so him trying to get over it, but he's so not.
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Mr.
So there's the
White.
first time you hear Mr. White for James. It's another Sony phone. Sony has a lot of thing because that was a Sony Vaio laptop that he was on as well.
Oh, so he did pretty well.
Yeah, this is a nice place. I would love to have a castle. I want to have a castle built like in this neighborhood. So it's just a bunch of like, like shitty like cookie cutter houses, and then in the middle like a friggin' like 10-story castle.
Mr. White.
Actually, I think he mentioned something about his daughter in this scene too, and so it's probably going to be like an 8-year-old girl, and then that's going to be the girl who he falls in love with.
Ooh, the new Bond girl. She's 8.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying is she is his daughter. So if you see
right. Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. This is a gorgeous place. Oh, that's the first like old Bond like note you get too. He looks so. So here we go. I'm getting the goosies, man. Look at you're getting the original Bond theme.
Oh yeah.
So good. This is like. That is a Connery suit.
I could wear that suit.
Yeah. I don't like the light blue, but that's just me. There it is. Blah, blah. Oh, so good. So good. And
Good movie.
And then the next movie starts, he's in a car chase with like that dude in the trunk.
And so he's learned, she's like, did you learn your lesson? You know, you don't trust anybody, but he still loved her. And they were like spies, but they loved each other, but it just didn't work out because of the whole spy world.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a bummer.
So those are some awesome names. I'm just like, the one guy's name was like Ade or whoever it was. I love this. This riff is just one of the most iconic like movie.
Who made this
riffs.
riff up?
I have his name. Hold on.
Newman.
Yes.
No.
Here's Randy Newman. James Bond.
Blah, 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 blah,
in the
James Bond.
Please hold. John Barry.
John Barry. Yes. Every time they make it, he probably gets mad cash. He's probably been dead for 25 years or something.
Yeah, they own... Whatever. I haven't used this tablet enough, and it's asking me too many questions. But I was trying to see what other like music he might have done, but God, this is so good. I feel like so much Bond stuff happened, you're just going to only see Bond, like... Oh, he did, like, Dances with Wolves, Out of Africa. Yeah, he's got all the...
Yeah, he's got some good ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let's see how far back we go.
Did we get an after credit scene?
No, I don't think that existed yet. He goes back, though, man. First thing he did was he was a composer in 1959, and then he did Dr. No was, like, his 5th thing he ever did. And then everything from there on.
Is that when the song started, Dr. No?
Yeah. That's the first one.
Oh, that's the very first James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was like the 5th James Bond movie that he had come on, and I was like, wait, so the theme only started in the 5th James Bond movie? No. But no.
Yeah. And then, so his name's on all of them for conductor. He was also the conductor in Howard the Duck, The Golden Child, Peggy Sue Got Married. I forgot Aha did the Living Daylights theme. What other ones?
You're Cornell again.
Mercury Rising, Madagascar, Escape to Africa. So yeah, he's got an eclectic resume. I'm down with that.
It's not a Marvel movie, so it shouldn't be that long. It's probably pretty long though.
Well, that was actually.
I still can't fucking believe he killed himself, man.
I know.
Unfucking real.
I think it was a mutually assured destruction thing between him and Linkin Park.
Yep. Wow, Chester Bennington of Linkin Park.
Yes. Well, I said Linkin Park, dude.
You know you didn't?
Yeah, well, I meant to. That was my intention if I didn't. No, the entirety of Linkin Park.
Oh, not too long now, man. We'll be watching the new one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, as this comes out, it should be out.
They're betting big on it to rock the theater. Mm-hmm.
Well,
it did Amazon, but yes, the Amazon did buy MGM for
yes
$8. No,
it was $78.
It was less than.
It was less than they wanted.
I don't know what they got. I remember Bethesda got 8-something bill.
Yeah.
Star Wars was 4-something bill. I still think it was 8. I don't know why 8 is sticking in my head. 8 bill.
Maybe it was $8.
Oh.
$8 a month.
And some back-end Bitcoin points.
Let me see. Amazon acquires MGM.
Oh, my God. I'm used to Marvel credits. Like, that was nothing.
Yeah, it's absolutely. $4.45 billion.
4.5.
4.45. So
4.5 bill.
So you could round that up to 4.5, though. That was fair enough. I don't really know why they went the double digits. All right, guys, that is it. We made it, and the whole thing recorded, I think. I don't know. Did I hit those buttons? Oh, no. Oh, you would murder me.
Oh, my God.
Feel like this would
you would have to press record while I beat you to death with this board thing here.
And that would be the episode.
Yeah.
It would be the length of the movie again. So
2 hours and 27 minutes of me just smashing your head in.
Love it. All right, guys, as always, you can find us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. I'm at JK Finley. I'm at miscastjoe on Twitter. We're at Miscast Podcast. Todd's at Miscast Todd. Instagram at Miscast Commentary. I'm at Miscast Joe there. TikTok at Miscast Joe and at Miscast Commentary as well. Everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTubes. We have all of these on video, so you can see our gorgeous faces. Yes. Huh. I could do an effect to make it look like VHS. I don't know why. So yeah, you can see how much Todd sweats. You can see how shiny my forehead is. Like all sorts of great things are going on. You could really, really pick out our flaws.
You can zoom in, enhance.
Mm-hmm. That's actually one thing I do want to say, because like you see go to any YouTube video and there's so many shitty comments about people, and we've had very, very positive viewers, and there's some fairly consistent people like Monkeyzmo. I give you a little shout out because you probably give the most comments of anybody, but there's a lot of people who have a lot of great things to say about what we do, and I appreciate that very much, and that you're not a bunch of negative jerks, because what's the point? If you don't like something, whatever, you've wasted.
If you don't like something, you spend all day shit talking it on the whatever.
I know. And it's like every now and again you see a bad comment. Like I did I
love a good troll.
I posted a TikTok on it was me playing Fortnite, and I came second. It wasn't the one I showed you.
Where he came first.
Yeah, I came first in another one, so fuck this guy. But I came second, and then the guy was just like, "You're losing to nothing but bots. You're so shitty. I haven't played this." He's like, I haven't played this game in so long, and I could still like destroy you, blah blah blah. And then I was like, what was the point of that? And then the guy like defended me. Sort of. He goes, "Come on, man, chill out." He's like, "Maybe this guy's just new to playing the game." And I'm like, well, that sounds as insulting as the other one.
Yeah, maybe he sucks his bad because he's never played, bro, you know?
A lot of people, like I don't take those types of games super seriously. So it's like...
Are you supposed to take them super seriously? It looks like a cartoon fucking game.
No, but I mean, like people, like all those games.
Like they live it.
Fortnite, Apex, all those ones.
Yeah, because you know where making those comments are like 13-year-olds.
But it's...
Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and people just go fucking bananas, and it's just like...
Good. Those are the best comments.
I know.
I want to hear people who go, "This guy," I want to hear the beginning, fucking say something.
Yeah. Well, there was the guy who wanted
fun of me.
There was the guy who wanted to like beat you up because you pretended that you punch old people.
Oh, yeah. No, I do now. So now he has a reason.
That was an interesting one.
That was the best shit ever.
Yeah, so basically, his Robert something, I don't remember.
I don't say his name.
Fuck him.
I know, but don't give the guy, like, you're giving him power like Freddy.
Yeah. No, but basically, yeah, he commented, we did a short, you can go and check that out, where where Todd said that he has a tattoo, so now all he does is punch old people. He's like, "Yeah, you like to punch old people? I'll beat the shit out of you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to come over and beat you to death, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like, whatever. But what was really funny is I was going to like do a really funny like response, like a super friendly, like whatever response. But then I realized, as I opened it up, it was gone. He had deleted it, but I still have the notification.
Right.
That says everything he said. So I'm
tired of this Robert Kirkman guy giving me the biz all the time.
Fucking Robert Kirkman making Invincible and talking shit about miscast comments. Whenever he's not making a huge comic book and adaptation of that comic book,
he's shit-talking us.
Shit-talking miscast.
I know that like the guy like took it seriously that I brag about beating up old people.
Yeah, it's very...
Like you brag about that to your friends, your relatives, not like on a thing like this.
I know. But for the most part, on miscast commentary, with the exception of that one woman who went bananas that we said that
she's great too.
Carrie Fisher was
but
awesome. It wasn't a negative, like, well, it was.
Yes,
but it was. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like trolly. It was like, you guys don't know what you're talking about kind of thing.
She did call us big fat gas station workers.
Oh, she did. You're right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a gas station worker or big and fat, but she said it negatively.
Yeah.
Okay, and I did not dig that.
Discriminatory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's time to be done this. All right, guys, we will catch you next week. Another Coming Attractions episode. We're going to figure out what the fuck we're doing. It's Halloween
punching
time.
Old people. That's what I'm going to be doing.
There you go. And it's going to be about Halloween time, so I think we got some Michael Myers coming up.
Ooh, yeah, that's coming out on my birthday, too, so that works out cool. Like the new one.
Yes. Well, which I believe is after this comes. I don't know the exact day this comes out. It's either going to be just before or just after. All right, guys. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.